It was night in a peaceful village called Konoha. It seemed like a night like any other night. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case. There was something cold in the air, a feeling like something terrible and inhuman happened, and it did. The terrible and inhuman thing was on the streets, which was empty at this time of night. A young boy around 4 years old was crucified on a ruggedly handmade cross. He was bleeding all over and seemed dead. Just a few hours ago he was running happily on the streets of Konoha, and now he was hanging here, beaten, taunted, and left for dead. No one really cared either. There were only two persons who cared about the boy's well-being. The first was the third Hokage, a gentle old man and the leader of Konoha. He would use all his might to protect the boy, but he can't prevent that the villagers take out their rage on the little boy. Since the Kyuubi, the nine-tailed fox, was sealed in Naruto by the fourth Hokage, the villagers wanted their revenge on him, thinking the boy was the demon reincarnate, much against the dying wish of the fourth Hokage, who wished that his son would be welcomed like a hero. The second person was Kakashi Hatake, an ANBU captain. After he learned Naruto was the son of the fourth Hokage, his beloved sensei, he promised he would keep Naruto safe, no matter the cost. But because of his occupation he can't keep a constant eye out for Naruto, since he would get many missions outside Konoha. The boy moved his head a few times. Someone dressed in a red trench coat with white hair, who was lurking in the shadows, couldn't believe it. Most adult men couldn't survive that kind of treatment, and especially not a 4-year-old. He wasn't the only one that noticed it. One of the jonin responsible for the young boy's condition noticed it as well, and quickly he gathered 4 companions. The jonin said, "Look at this, fellows, the demon kid is still alive. Let's finish the job." The boy shivered on the cross, although it was very hard because he was nailed very tightly to it. The man who was lurking in the shadows, called Dante, couldn't stand the sight of it anymore and decided to take action. He disappeared from his position and appeared on the nearby wall close to the boy. He was leaning against it and said, "You know, this is none of my business, but I can't stand it when 5 adults abuse a young kid who can't even defend himself." Angry Jonin number 1, stay out of this, stranger. This doesn't concern you, this is a matter for the people of Konoha. Dante, I see, so the people of Konoha are proud that they crucified a kid that isn't even half their size. What a great village indeed. Angry Jonin number 2 stepped in. I will let you know that this stupid excuse for a child is actually a demon. He needs to be killed even if the Hokage refuses it. Dante came off the wall and got an interested look in his face. A demon, you say? Angry Jonin number 1, yes, this is the holder of the Kyuubi, who savaged this village a few years ago. Dante's eyes got an unforgiving look and pulled out his sword. Then let me handle this, it's my specialty after all. The jonin gave a signal that he may do it. Be my guest, I don't care as long as the demon is dead. The young Naruto shivered when he was looking at the strange man who was coming near, expecting his own life to end. I've never done anything to deserve this, I'm only 4 years old and it seems I won't see another day. What have I done wrong to deserve this? Why do they hate me? Then he heard screams in the night while blood spat around. Within just 10 seconds all 5 jonins were in a pool of their own blood. One actually lived, although he was in his dying moments. Dying jonin WI? Dante, I said I would kill the demon and I did. You guys were trying to take a life before it can flourish. I met demons with more honor in their left ass cheek than all 5 of you guys combined. The man passed away, fleeing from his life while he tried to take the life of an innocent child. Dante sheathed his sword on his back and walked towards Naruto, pulled him from the cross and lifted him up with one arm and looked at the kid like he was taxing a rabbit. He was battered, bruised and bleeding all over, while the old wounds weren't even healed, indicating that this wasn't the first time some people abused him. Naruto's eyes were empty, like he already gave up his life, and was shaking. Dante looked like he was sensing something inside the kid and a surprised look got on his face. What? It can't be. I know this energy, it's like my own. So that's why you are hated. The boy shivered even more while a tear was running down his cheek. Dante, poor little bastard, I think I will find this Hokage person and have a nice little chat with him to express my feelings to him. And with that he raised the kid to his back and went to the big tower. When he arrived a woman tried to stop him, screaming he wasn't allowed in at the moment. Dante hated when he had to raise his arm to women, but he had other things on his mind and hit the woman in the neck, sending her to dreamland. He arrived at the Hokage's office and kicked the door open. An old man jumped from his seat and took a battle position. "Hokage, who are you? What do you want?" "Dante, my name is of no concern to you, and what I want are answers," as he got Naruto of his back and showed him to the Hokage. The Hokage got a scared look in his eyes. Oh no. Not again. It's even worse now. Dante got a hard look in his eyes again? So you know what this kid had to endure and you didn't give him bodyguards. Hokage, of course I gave him bodyguards, but due to some difficulties they can't watch him all the time. Dante, great, an old geezer who can't even protect children from the ninjas of his own village. What's this world coming to? And what did this kid do wrong to deserve this kind of treatment? Hokage sighs. Alright, I will tell you. And the Hokage began to tell the whole story about Naruto's parents, the Kyuubi, the last wish of the fourth Hokage, which meant that the people should have welcomed Naruto as an hero, and how the people reacted to it. Dante only got angrier. Gore. Selfish people, who doesn't even understand the meaning of being possessed or being a vessel, and even spitting on the dying wish of their beloved leader. Hokage, yes, from the day Naruto was born he had to live a life of being hated and scorned without knowing the real reason why, without parents to relieve his burden or friends to share his pain with. Dante became silent but then spoke. Not anymore. The Hokage, startled at the mysterious stranger. What do you mean? Dante, it means I am taking the kid with me. The Hokage started to yell. And what gives you the right to make decisions for the boy? Dante, I have my reasons. I can only say that I am the closest thing of a family he has left. The Hokage got a determined look on his face. No, I won't allow it. Naruto will stay here and become a great ninja like his father wanted him to be. Dante got a scary glare, dripping with killing intent, and the Hokage couldn't help it but he shivered like a leaf. Dante, gimme a fucking break. The ways things go now, the child won't even live to reach puberty, let alone be a ninja. I'm taking him with me, and if you plan to stop me. As Dante paused, his glare got even scarier. Then I will have to take measures. The Hokage couldn't stop shaking, as his eyes were fixated on the silver-haired stranger's eyes. Finally he submitted. Fine, take the boy, but allow me to make one request. Dante, name it and then I will see. The Hokage took a deep breath. Make sure the wish of his father is honored and let Naruto become a ninja to this village. Dante was thinking that is for the boy to decide when he is old enough. Until that time I will keep myself busy with raising the kid and training him. If I do my job well, he won't get crucified anymore. The Hokage got a disgusted look on his face. He was crucified. Dante nodded yes. What do you think these marks on his hands are? Stigmatas? The Hokage sighed. They really tried everything. Genjutsus, torture, beating, carvings. They even tried to set him on fire once. Dante, disgusting. I'll take him with me so that can never happen again. The Hokage turned around to look over the village as if he was reminiscing. You know, even with being the leader of this village, I've failed the previous Hokage since I couldn't protect his son. A strange world, isn't it, stranger? Dante, sure is. By the way, not too far from here near an alley there are 5 Jonin corpses. Better get rid of them before children wake up. The Hokage, startled. What did you say? He got no answer, and when he turned around he saw that Dante and the boy were gone. A few days later, Kakashi Hatake returned from his mission and went to report to the Hokage. He gave the mission's reports and his own experiences on the matter. Finally the report was over. Kakashi, now that I'm done I will keep an eye out for Naruto. The Hokage had a sad look. Don't bother about that, Naruto's gone. Kakashi was startled, although his face was behind a ANBU mask. What do you mean he's gone? The Hokage sighed as he explained that a stranger took Naruto with him when Naruto was beaten, abused, and crucified by a couple of Jonin. Kakashi was enraged when he heard that even Jonin were the ones doing terrible things to him. Kakashi made a fist. If I find out who they are, they're dead meat. Hokage, they already got what they deserved by the man who took Naruto. Kakashi, do you know who that man was, Lord Hokage? And what he wants to do with Naruto? The Hokage looked Kakashi straight in the eyes. I only know the man wants to train him, and then, when Naruto was old enough, he let Naruto decide if he wants to become a ninja or not, and I don't know who the man was, but I do know one thing, he's dangerous. Kakashi let his head down. It's probably better for him anyway, too many people hate him for being the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Oh man, I can't even imagine how Master Jiraiya would react when he hears his godson was taken away. Too bad we couldn't protect him enough. The Hokage got a serious look on his face. Not anymore. From this day forward a lot of things will change. 8 years later, just outside Konoha. Two figures were on a hill and were looking over Konoha. One was an adult and the other a child. Dante, it's been 8 years since they last saw you. You think they forgot about you, Naruto? The young boy was much bigger now. Also, his appearance changed. Besides the blonde hair, only changed in style now. Instead of spiky hair, he had his hair a bit like Dante's hair and whisker-shaped marks on his cheeks. He was completely different. He was wearing black pants, a dark blue vest, and had a black trench coat with red flames on the lower part that went up and formed a cross. He got a big sword on his back just like Dante. The sword's name was Repent. Naruto shrugged. I don't know, or care anyway. I'm just here to grant my biological father's dying wish. Dante raised his eyebrow. Biological father? Naruto nodded. Yes, I have two fathers. One was a great man but unfortunately died before I got a chance to know him, and you who was always there for me. Dante, come on, don't get emotional on me, kiddo. By the way, there was something I wanted to give you before you take off. Dante reached into his trench coat and pulled out a katana. Naruto looked shocked. Why, Yamato? But you said. Dante smiled. I said I wouldn't give it to you so easily, but you trained with me and became strong and you earned. Hell, the last time I trained with you was a party I won't forget so soon. Naruto took the katana with shivering hands, shivering of happiness. Thanks, Uncle Dante, it means a lot to me. I had a great time too. Dante, I know, you like fighting as much as I do. It's in our family's blood. Now you better get going or else you're gonna be late. Naruto walked away but stopped when Dante called. Dante, hey kid. Naruto, yeah? Dante rocked their worlds. Naruto smirked. Oh, you betcha, they wouldn't know what hit them. As Naruto walked away, a voice was heard behind Dante. It was a beautiful blonde woman called Trish. Trish emotional? Dante, nah, just gonna miss the brat. Trish, what a surprise, he almost is as worse as you are. Dante smirked to Trish. I'll take that as a compliment. Trish sighed. I almost feel sorry for that village. With Naruto. He walked towards the gate of Konoha as two old jonin stopped him. Jonin number 1, state your name and what you want to do here. Naruto, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and my business is my own. The two jonin startled when they heard the name. Jonin number 2, what? How dare you to come back here, demon? Jonin number 1, wait, Mino, don't break the rules. Jonin number 2, screw the rules. Naruto sighed. So much for a happy welcome home party, and he disappeared. Jonin number 2, what the? Where is that Kyuubi brat? Naruto was on the wall that surrounded Konoha. I'm here, Slowpoke, I'm so nice to let myself in, see ya. And he jumped down. Jonin number 2, how? We gotta go after him. Jonin number 1 shook his head. Nope, I'm too old for this crap and being around you is dangerous now. If you even use the D word on Naruto means that your punishment will be severe. The lowest punishment is a drop in rank and 3 months without pay. Jonin number 2, I don't care. At least I protect my village, I'm going after him now, and he ran off. With Naruto. Naruto was exploring the area a bit since it was a long time ago since he set foot in this village. He couldn't remember much of it since he was so young, although some places did seem familiar because those were good spots to hide from the angry villagers. Naruto tch, at least I'm not that weak anymore. Jonin number 2 found Naruto and was running towards him. Wait up, kid. Naruto let out a big sigh. Don't they ever give up, Oh well, guess that means I have to get a bit more resourceful. The Jonin finally caught up. Found you, now you and I will have a nice little chat. And when he spoke, his eyes filled with rage. Naruto shrugged, whatever, but make it quick, I have a Hokage to see. The Jonin drew a kunai. Don't worry kid, it won't take long. Naruto raised both his eyebrows. Oh, so you want that kind of talk? Sure, I'm game. And when he spoke, he pulled out Yamato and released it a little bit from its sheath. I really want to test this little baby out, you know. The Jonin charged at Naruto, but he suddenly stopped as Naruto just put Yamato back in its sheath with a click sound. The Jonin had a look of fear in his eyes while pieces of clothing were falling off of him, leaving the poor guy only in his underwear. Naruto got a dangerous glare in his eyes. Beat it, or the next attack will be ace of spades. Without hesitation, the man turned around and ran for dear life, only to get caught by a few ninja. One of them appeared in front of Naruto. It was a man with long black hair and a ponytail, while some hair was banging over his Konoha forehead protector on his head. He had black pants, a chainmail shirt, and a Jonin vest. Two black eyes drilled into his. Man, who are you? Naruto waved his finger in front of the man. It isn't polite to ask a name before giving yours. Man indeed, but someone may ask another's name first if the stranger charges into his home. But if you must know, my name is Itachi Uchiha. Naruto showed his smile. You're right, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. The man froze when he heard that name but then relaxed. I see, so you finally returned. Then I will escort you to Lord Hokage. Naruto shrugged. Fine by me. Minutes later, at the office of the third Hokage. The Hokage was looking at the returned Naruto. The boy was a lot bigger and also his attire was different. It remembered him of the man that took him 8 years ago. He even had the same kind of air around him. Then the Hokage finally spoke. So Naruto, I'm glad you returned. I was starting to worry you wouldn't show your face around here anymore since what happened 8 years ago. Naruto took a seat and kicked back while he was laying his legs on the Hokage's desk. Nah, you don't get rid of me that easily, and by the way, I have a dying wish to fulfill. The Hokage had a vein popping out of his head when he saw how the young boy was manhandling his desk, but he decided to let it go for a moment. Hokage, do you know the basics of ninjutsu? Did that man train you well? Naruto just nodded. First of all, his name is Dante. Second, for ninjutsu I had another teacher, so I know the basics and a bit more. It wasn't like I was to return here when I was little to only learn ninjutsu and then go back to Dante. The Hokage spoke. I see. Well, as you might know, we had some great changes in this village since you left. It was true. After Naruto was taken, the Hokage decided he must not let this happen ever again. Everyone who spoke about the demon out loud would get severely punished by the ANBU Black Ops. If a conspiracy were planned to search and kill Naruto, they would know about it. If one was caught, he was interrogated in such a manner it would only take 1 day before the entire group was captured and punished. The Hokage found out what Danzo was planning in the future, used the power of the Kyuubi for himself and set the council against the Uchiha clan so that their own prodigy, Itachi Uchiha, would kill them. The Hokage captured Danzo and had him executed. After that, the ANBU Root Division was expelled. The ones that were too far gone in Danzo's ideas were dealt with. Unfortunately, the Uchiha clan was destroyed anyway. Until this day, it is still a mystery who pulled that off. There were only 2 survivors of the massacre, Itachi Uchiha, who was on a mission, and his younger brother Sasuke Uchiha. The Hokage was still the same kind man, only since that incident 8 years ago his fist was raised against the wicked, much harder than before and without mercy if he had to. Naruto nodded. That's all fine and all, old man, but what's next? I mean, I know I have school tomorrow, but I don't have a place to stay. The Hokage pulled out a set of keys. Already thought of that. Here are the keys for your new apartment. The old one isn't available anymore since some villagers burned it to the ground a few years ago. Naruto took the keys. Thanks, old man, I'm gonna check it out, after I got something to eat. You know where I can get pizza around here, old man? The Hokage looked at the boy with strange eyes. Pizza? What is pizza? Naruto's eyes became big of fear. Please, don't tell me you guys don't know what pizza is? It's the greatest thing ever. The Hokage was shaking his head. Sorry, never heard of it. Naruto, damn it. Then I must search for something else. Take it easy, old timer, and Naruto walked away. The Hokage was shocked when he heard Naruto curse, or even the fact Naruto dared to call him old timer. The Uchiha was just chuckling. Itachi, oh well, at least he has some spunk. Hokage, I get a bad feeling about this. Let's just pray that he doesn't pick up fights with his fellow students. With Naruto. Naruto was walking around Konoha to find a good place to eat, and he ended up in a place called Ichiraku's Ramen. He walked in it. An old man and young girl that was apparently a daughter of the old man were standing behind a counter. The old man's name was Ichiraku and his daughter was called Ayam. Naruto thought the girl was kinda hot. Ayam, hey, a new visitor. How can I help you? Naruto raised his hand. Hi babe, I would like the beef ramen please. Ichiraku froze when he heard how the newcomer called his Ayam. Ichiraku said with a threatening voice, what did you call her? Naruto shrugged. Babe, as in beauty, gorgeous, pretty and stuff like that. Ayam just smiled. Relax dad, he's just a kid and it was kind of a compliment. One beef ramen coming up. Naruto got a bowl of ramen in front of him and started to eat. Naruto, holy crap. This tastes fucking awesome. It's not better than pizza but is a close second. I should let Dante eat this stuff once. He quickly ate his ramen and paid for it. He left while he gave a little wink to Ayam, who blushed a little bit. Naruto arrived at his new place. It was pretty spacious and there was more than enough room to live here. He decided he should go to bed early because tomorrow he would have to participate in the Chunin exams. The next day, Naruto woke up and took a shower. After the shower, he wrapped a towel around his waist and looked at himself in the mirror. His muscles were pretty defined and had some seals on his arms. Those seals contained some devil arms that could be quite useful. His hair looked like a mop, but at least it was better than that spiky hair he used to have. He got dressed in his usual attire and had the sword on his back. It's a sword that Dante made. It isn't as good as his rebellion sword, but it came pretty close. He clinched Yamato at his belt and he was ready to go. He also had 2 holsters containing firearms, but unless normal guns, this one uses chakra and demonic energy instead of bullets. These gave a few advantages. There wasn't a boom effect, rather a low energy noise that sounded like starting up an electronic device, and he could adjust the effects to hurt, to knock out, or even to kill. He walked and soon he was standing in front of the school building. Naruto talked into himself, it's time to get this party started, and he kicked in the door. The class was noisy and annoying, as always. One was stuffing his face with potato chips while the other was sleeping. 2 girls were arguing without anyone knowing what about. Some were brooding, others remained silent, and a few screamed to make themselves understandable. In other words, it was chaos. It was Irika's personal hell. Irika has been their teacher for a long time and it was always the same crap. Sometimes he had the urge to grab his kunai and slash every throat that was present at the time. But all in all, he loved his job, although it was hard sometimes. In this entire ruckus, the door suddenly slammed open and one thing happened what never happened before: it became silent. The young man responsible for this amazing feat was standing in the opening of the door. He had blonde hair that was shaped like a mop and he had whisker marks on both cheeks. He wore black combat boots, black pants, a dark blue vest and a black trench coat with flames at the bottom. Some girls were looking and were drooling a bit at the appearance of the young man. He looked in the class and saw a seat open next to a brooding character. He kicked back and laid his legs on the table while his arms were behind his head. The brooding person, called Sasuke Uchiha, was annoyed by the way Naruto laid his legs on the table. Sasuke, hey dobe. Get those legs out of my way or else I'm gonna dismember them from your body. Naruto still laid there with his eyes closed. Can it? Sasuke was shocked someone had the nerve to tell an Uchiha to shut up. He was standing up and ready to grab a kunai, but before anyone could see it, Naruto was pointing with his sword on Sasuke's neck. Naruto, I get a bit grumpy in the morning, so if you want to keep your pretty little head you better sit down and shut up. What no one expected happened. Sasuke sat down. While some girls started to drool even more about the new kid, Sasuke's fangirl club was sending amounts of killing intent to the new boy. He opened his eyes to show the girls that he had hard blue eyes and started to give some killing intent of his own, and the girls moved their gaze away from the kid. Irika cleared his throat and everyone sat down. Irika, well students, as you might have noticed, we have a new classmate who will join us in the Chunin exams today. Come in front of the class and introduce yourself. Naruto slowly got up and put his hand in the pockets of his trench coat. Naruto smirked. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, 12 years old, the rest you need to find out for yourselves. Some girls had hearts in their eyes when saw the smirk on Naruto, while the Sasuke fan club started to find him sympathetic. Irika, this is going to be a stubborn one anyway, let's start the exam, shall we? Just follow me. The students walked outside and Irika said they needed to pull out their shuriken. Everyone followed the order except for Naruto. Irika, I said to take your shuriken, Naruto. Naruto shrugged and got a piece of paper out of his coat and Irika took it. Dear Irika, because of some other abilities, I exclude Naruto Uzumaki from the shuriken and kunai tasks at the exam. However, I would like you to judge the skills he has with the weapons he likes to use. Signed, Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage. Irika read the letter OK, then Naruto, then take out the weapons you do use. Naruto reached for the holsters and brought out two metallic-like weapons that Irika had never seen before. One was black with flames on it and had a red jewel at the start of the barrel. The other was white with glyphs on it that seemed to glow and also had a jewel on it at the same place as the black one. Irika, what are those things? Naruto, they are called guns, let me demonstrate. Naruto aimed at the target and pulled the trigger. Holes appeared in the center and soon the entire middle piece was gone. Irika, what the? Naruto explained the guns convert your chakra into condensed projectiles. It means you can determine the amount of damage you want to do on an opponent. Like this. Naruto held up the guns once more and aimed at another target and pulled the trigger, just once this time. Suddenly the entire target exploded, leaving nothing more than a few toothpicks. Irika's sweat dropped. I see, I guess, you passed this part of the exam. Discover more. Book cover design services. Literature critique service. Anime fanfiction books. Fanfiction mobile app. Forum. Fanfiction community forum. Novel writing guides. Writing conference tickets. Ergonomic writing chairs. Writing software. Naruto was just leaning against a tree until the other students were done throwing. The next part was to make a perfect henge, a transformation jutsu. All students made a perfect copy of Irika. Then there was the last part, the clone jutsu. Finally it was Naruto's turn and he walked into the room with Irika and his assistant Mizuki in it. Naruto was cracking his neck. Alright, how much you need? Irika, just 3 should be enough. Naruto got an evil smirk on his face. Clone jutsu. Just outside the room. The class was talking about how they did or how they are going to do it until they heard a scream in the other room. One walked towards the door and opened it and suddenly streams of Narutos were coming out of the door. It was almost like a small Naruto river. Irika was beneath all those Narutos and while he was half conscious he said, "Why you?" He passed while Naruto had still his evil smirk on his face. The exams were over and the school had to turn back tomorrow for their group assignments. Naruto didn't even walk 10 feet until he heard a familiar voice behind him. Sasuke, hey dope. Did you really think I would let you walk away unharmed after what you did to me? No way, get ready because I'm giving you a beating you won't forget soon. Naruto just stood calmly there with his hands in his pockets. I don't have any interest in fighting you. It wouldn't prove anything and you would only get hurt. Sasuke taunted. What's the matter? Is the new kid scared he would get his ass kicked by an Uchiha? Naruto glared at Sasuke. Uchiha? I see. I was told only 2 survived, 1 smart one and 1 stupid one. I met your brother and I know he is the smart one. Sasuke got angry and charged at Naruto, but Naruto disappeared. Sasuke looked around until he heard someone whistle. When he looked where the sound was coming from, he saw Naruto lying on a branch in a tree. He seemed very relaxed and acted like he wasn't even attacked. Sasuke, what the? I didn't even see him move. Naruto, you're pretty slow, aren't you, kid? Sasuke got mad again. There was something about the new kid's voice that infuriated him to no end. He threw a few kunai, but the only thing Naruto did is letting himself fall from the branch. While Naruto was in mid-air, Sasuke charged him. Naruto landed and in front of him was Sasuke, ready to strike. Sasuke thought he had him but only hit air. Because there was no resistance, he lost his balance and fell on the ground, face first. He started to get up and when he looked behind him he saw Naruto, just a few feet away from him. Naruto, you know Uchiha, you're getting on my nerves. Sasuke just answered with a growl and charged like a madman. As Sasuke was charging, Naruto pulled the sword from his back. Sasuke punched, but Naruto turned around his arm and ended on Sasuke's rear while holding his sword to his neck. Naruto talked to Sasuke, only it seemed like Naruto's voice changed. It was a bit deeper, more mature, and more scary. Naruto, listen and listen well. If you want to live long enough to enjoy your adulthood, then you're on the wrong way right now. I hate it when I have to raise my sword without a reason. Next time, it will be your head. Sasuke shoo. And his sentence was interrupted because everything went black when Naruto hit Sasuke's neck with the back of his hand. Naruto simply put the sword back and walked away. A girl with pink hair called Sakura ran over to the knocked out Sasuke Uchiha. Sakura, what did you do to him, bastard? Naruto stopped and moved his head so Sakura could only see a part of his eyes. They were cold hard and it seemed like those eyes said, stop talking or I'll kill you. Sakura shivered and didn't pay attention to the scary blonde anymore. Naruto was starting to walk home but he noticed that someone was following him. Naruto walked towards an alley and the one that followed him looked in it. The alley was empty. The stalker walked into the alley and heard a voice. Naruto, you don't give a good impression if you're stalking someone. The girl froze up when she heard the voice and turned around. It was a girl with her hair in buns and brown eyes. Naruto, hey, I saw you at the academy. Are you here to avenge the Uchiha's honor? Tenten, no, I don't give a damn about Sasuke and my name is Tenten. Naruto, then why are you following me? Tenten blushed, well, I'm a weapon expert and you seem to be as well, so, Naruto finished her sentence, so you wanted to see how I spend my free time and try to learn from it. Tenten nodded, I've never seen weapons like yours before and that sword you use, it's strange. Naruto shrugged, what can I say, I'm a strange guy. Tenten got a deeper blush, see can I see your sword? Naruto pulled the sword from his back and showed it to Tenten. It was big with tribals on the blade. The guard showed a skull that sprouted wings and the handle had carvings so that it would give a perfect grip for Naruto. Tenten looked at it with her expert eyes, it's a beautiful piece of craftsmanship and is customized so that it will fit you perfectly. Where did you get this? Naruto, my uncle made it. It took him a lot of time and spent a lot of time in it. He has a sword that's stronger and tried to copy it and he came pretty close. Tenten, I would like to hear all about it. Naruto shrugged, I have to train first, maybe tomorrow after the team assignments over lunch perhaps. Tenten started to blush again, oh okay. Naruto, alright then, it's a date, and while he walked away he gave Tenten a wink while her head turned as red as a lobster. At the Hokage Tower. Kakashi just returned from a mission. Short after Naruto was taken by Dante, he quit the ANBU Black Ops and became a regular Jonin. So he got rid of his ANBU mask. He was wearing a black suit that covered his entire body, a Jonin vest, and his mouth was covered by an extension of his suit. He wore his forehead protector diagonally so that it covered his left eye. The Hokage, it's good you have returned, Kakashi. I have a surprise for you. Kakashi looked surprised. A surprise? The Hokage smiled. Naruto returned yesterday and today he passed his genin exams. Kakashi's left eye widened. And how is he? Is he alright? Did he become strong? The Hokage smiled because of Kakashi's concern. Kakashi was very concerned about Naruto and gave a lot about the son of his sensei. Hokage, he's fine. He became quite the looker. The only negative thing I can say is that he adopted some bad habits from the man that took him. I heard from him that the man was his biological uncle. His name was Dante or something. Kakashi was shaking his body. Dante? As in the Dante? The Hokage gave Kakashi an interesting look. You heard about him? Kakashi nodded. If the Dante we are talking about is the same man, I think he is. Naruto was raised by one of the strongest people that are around. No one actually believes that he exists. The rumors about him are just too great to be true. The Hokage, and what does those rumors say? Kakashi, that Dante is a specialist in kenjutsu and can take on an entire army by himself without even trying. Furthermore, people exclaim that he can take on the strange creatures that since shortly appeared in the elemental countries. The Hokage nodded. If what you say is true and Naruto is trained by the man, Naruto could be stronger than he lets on. I'm assigning you and Itachi as the commanding jonin on his squad just to be sure. Kakashi, why me and Itachi? The Hokage got a serious look. As you know, Naruto is the vessel of the Kyuubi. If the seal weakens or even breaks on a certain point, Itachi can take actions with his Sharingan. I know you have the Sharingan as well, but Itachi's Sharingan is stronger. Kakashi had no reasons to object because after all he knew the Hokage was right, although there was a small problem. Kakashi, but Lord Hokage, Itachi is a part of ANBU, not a regular jonin who can become a sensei. The Hokage nodded. That's true, but I already spoke to him about the matter and he had to admit the offer was tempting. He seems to have a lot of interest in Naruto. He said he had a hunch that the boy would be interesting to observe. Kakashi, alright, then we both see you tomorrow in your tower to know the rest of the teams. The Hokage nodded. Later that night, Naruto was training with Yamato. He knows the basics of it, but he wanted to perfect some certain moves. He stopped training and said, Naruto, you can come out now. I've noticed you a while ago and I am not gonna drop my guard, you know. A shadow came out of the bushes and the one called Mizuki appeared with a large scroll on his back. Mizuki, aren't you clever? I actually wanted to leave the village, but I saw you training here and I couldn't resist the temptation to kill you. Naruto shrugged. Why? I didn't do anything to you. Mizuki, oh really? You thought I would fall in your trap of an impersonation of a little boy, you demon? Naruto, demon? I don't know what you are talking about. Mizuki, really now? Everyone knows what you are but don't have the guts to say it because the Hokage forbids it. Everyone knows the Kyuubi is inside you. Naruto started to laugh. That doesn't mean I am a demon, it means I am a vessel of a demon, but I gotta say you're not even close with that demon remark, hehe. Mizuki, it's time that I became a hero and killed a monstrous Kyuubi before I leave the village. Naruto just sighed. Are you gonna stand there posing or are we gonna get this party started? Mizuki got the big shuriken he got on his back and threw it to Naruto. He grabbed Repent and knocked the big shuriken away. Mizuki ran towards Naruto and threw a few shuriken and made a handseal shuriken clone jutsu. And the few shuriken became dozens. Naruto quickly put Repent on his back and unsheathed Yamato and made just one slashing movement towards the kunai. All of them were sended back. Mizuki appeared at Naruto's side and wanted to give a devastating uppercut, but Naruto just bended his head so that the uppercut missed him. Then Mizuki jumped back and made a few handseals fire-style, fireball jutsu. A ball of fire was headed towards Naruto and he sheathed Yamato and got Repent again. He was ready to strike and when the fireball was near him he swung the sword at the ball and sent it back where it came from. Mizuki had to dodge or else he would get killed by his own jutsu. He barely dodged but saw something rushing towards his neck. Unable to dodge it, Mizuki was left decapitated. Naruto got a cloth and wiped his sword clean. He looked at the body and saw the big scroll Mizuki was carrying with him. He opened it and saw an interesting technique called shadow clone jutsu. He glanced over it and quickly rolled it up when some persons were coming close to his position. An ANBU appeared and he was looking towards Naruto and then towards Mizuki. Naruto just threw the scroll at the ANBU. Next time, make sure you get to him in time, and please send someone to recover the body, it's bad for the environment. And with that said, he walked away. The Hokage saw everything with his crystal ball. He saw everything, the speech Mizuki made, how he attacked Naruto and how Naruto defended himself. The Hokage said to himself, this boy is gonna give me a lot of trouble in the future. Why did that man had to raise him? Next day in the classroom. Naruto was just sitting in the classroom with his eyes closed. Sasuke was sending him death glares all morning, but Naruto just ignored them. It was clear that Sasuke was planning to get back at Naruto somehow. Only Sasuke was smart enough not to confront him openly anymore. Naruto proved that he was a worthy opponent. Finally, Iruka came in the classroom and started to give the names. Many names were called. Iruka Squad 7, Sakura Haruno, Kiba Inuzuka, Hinata Hyuga, and Sasuke Uchiha. The pink-haired banshee cheered in joy, while Kiba was annoyed that he had to put up with the brooding bastard. Sasuke was annoyed as well since he only thought the other three would hold him back. Hinata looked just shy. Iruka Squad 8, Shino Aburame, Shikamaru Nara, and Chuji Akimichi. Iruka finally came to Naruto Squad 10, Naruto Uzumaki, Tenten, and Ino Yamanaka. Tenten looked glad and Ino even let out a little cheer since she was put in a squad with the cute new kid. Naruto just didn't respond in any way. Every group was picked up by their senseis. Naruto looked interested in the Jonin that picked up Squad 7. A dark-haired beauty with red eyes. They all were waiting for their sensei for a long time and Naruto got a scroll from his trench coat. Naruto, hey babes, you want something to eat? Both girls blushed by the words babes and simply nodded. Naruto made a few hand seals and placed his hand on the scroll. 3 strawberry sundaes appeared. Ino ice cream? Naruto, not just ice cream, it's the ice cream. Strawberry sundaes. Tenten, never heard of it. Naruto looked surprised, never? Then you gotta try it, it's great. Tenten got a spoon and ate a little bit. Her eyes widened, oh my kami. This is great. Ino saw Tenten's reacting and quickly took a bite from hers. Her eyes became as big as teacups and started to eat it at a fast pace. After they all ate it, they finally heard footsteps on the corridor. The door slided open and Kakashi appeared, looking over the group. Kakashi, you look lively. Walk with me to the roof so that we can introductions there. Naruto pointed at a wall. Wouldn't you invite your friend as well? Kakashi looked at Naruto. What friend? Naruto, Itachi Uchiha, who is observing us since the beginning of our team assignments. Suddenly the wall seemed to come alive and it changed into a man. Itachi, observant are we? Naruto just shrugged. On the roof. Well, start with introducing ourselves. Just the regular stuff, likes, dislikes, dreams for the future and hobbies. Ino, why don't you start senseis, so we know how it is done? Kakashi, me? I'm Kakashi Hatake. Things I like and things I hate, I don't feel like telling you that. My dreams for the future, not really thought about that. As for hobbies, I have lots of hobbies. Itachi stepped in. I am Itachi Uchiha, things I like, catching rogue ninja, things I hate, many things. My dreams for the future, being able to protect this village, and hobbies, I keep that to myself. Kakashi, alright, your turn, and he pointed to Ino. Ino, I am Ino Yamanaka, things I like, cute boys next to other many things. Things I hate, billboard brow and hateful people. My dreams for the future, being a great kunoichi one day, and my hobbies are helping my parents with their shop and working with flowers. Kakashi, at least she shows that she wants to be a ninja. Itachi, better than I expected from a fangirl of my brother. Itachi, okay, the other lady now. 10-10, I am 10-10. I like training and working with weapons. I hate girls who give kunoichi a bad name. My dream for the future is to show that kunoichi are just as good as men. My hobbies are training and developing weapons. Kakashi, a loose cannon with a high affinity for weaponry. At least she will prove useful. Itachi, weapons aren't everything. You also need stamina and several nin and taijutsu moves. At least she is driven to be a good kunoichi. Kakashi, alright, the last one. Naruto, I am Naruto Uzumaki. I like training, pizza, strawberry sundaes, my swords and my guns. I hate demons. My dreams for the future is to fulfill my father's dying wish. My hobbies are fighting, training and relaxing. Kakashi, so he knows about his father, and want to grant his final wish. I like it. It appears he will have a high affinity for kenjutsu. Only time will tell. Itachi, I like his attitude. Let's hope he has the potential to back it up. I hope my hunch isn't right about this one. Kakashi, well, let's get to business. Tomorrow we will start with your true test. Ino, but we just passed our exam. Itachi, that's just to pick the people who has a chance to become genin. Tomorrow the true graduating test will start, and I have to warn you rookies, your chance of failing is 66.6%. The two jonin stood up and Kakashi seemed to remind something. Oh yeah, you might skip breakfast tomorrow, you might lose it. 10-10, oh, what are we gonna do? If we fail tomorrow, all this was for nothing. Naruto just looked calmly into her eyes. Don't worry about it, if we work together tomorrow then we will pass. Ino cut in, what are you talking about? Naruto, use your brain. They said there was a 66.6% chance that we would fail. There are 3 of us. What does that say to you? Ino looked stupid. That we have 2/3 chance of failing? Naruto side, can't blame her, she's blonde after all. Alone we have 66.6% chance of failing, that means I have 33.3% chance of passing, and that percentage is exactly 1/3 of 100%. It's a clue that we must work as a team. Ino still looked confused, but 10-10 nodded. I understand, you're right, what do you suppose to do? Naruto smirked, don't worry, I have a plan. A few hours later in the Hokage Tower. A couple of jonin were standing in the office of the Hokage. They consisted of Asuma, Kakashi, Itachi, Kurenai, Anko, and Guy. The Hokage was sitting behind his desk. The jonin got a document in their hands that gave a description about Naruto. Guy looked at the Hokage and said, but why did you give us this information, Lord Hokage? The Hokage looked serious and said, although I made some rules concerning about Naruto, not everyone has a warm heart for him. You know how people are, think about Mizuki. Kurenai shivered. Yes, I know, I saw a lot of terrible things happen to Naruto when he was younger. Of course I was very young myself, but it was still terrible, I still have nightmares about those scenes. Anko got a mad look on her face. Tell me about it. Of course I wasn't there when it happened, but when I heard it I became so mad. How can a full-fledged jonin perform a genjutsu on a child? Itachi, it just happened. People fear what they not know. It's simple human nature. Of course it's terrible, but that's the reason why we must work together to prevent it from ever happening again. Asuma inhaled his cigarette smoke, exhaled and said, we will prevent it. That kid has seen and experienced more horrors than some jonins have. Anko, but one thing I don't get, Lord Hokage, why are the abilities part blank in the document? The Hokage responded, you people all know Naruto was taken away when he was younger. Since recently I found out that the name of that man was Dante. This mysterious person appears to help out people to get rid of the strange creatures that appear here and there, for a small fee of course. Dante is called a master in kenjutsu, and since he raised Naruto we don't know what Dante or anyone else have taught Naruto. Anko nods, so no one knows his level of intelligence, strength, or abilities. The Hokage nods, indeed, we only saw bits of his character but we don't know if that's real or not. He seems cheerful most of the time but it doesn't add up with his past. Most people with similar pasts would appear more gloomy than Naruto. Itachi, we will find out in time. Either me or Kakashi. The Hokage smiled. I know you two will, especially Kakashi. The rest nodded. Although Kakashi is a silent and strange guy most of the times, he never kept his relationship with Naruto or his family a secret. With Naruto. After Naruto had a long talk with his new two teammates, he was walking around town. Many people gave him icy glares. Naruto saw it and thought, some things will never change, at least I can defend myself when I have to. Suddenly he saw a girl with pink hair he recognized as the girl that took care after Sasuke. Sakura saw him as well but immediately let her head drop. Then it seemed she saw something and opened her eyes. Someone threw a rock at Naruto, but he simply caught it without looking. He slowly aimed his scary glare at the person who threw the rock and crushed the rock with his hand. The young man looked at Naruto with eyes big of fear and ran away like a little boy who just had been caught skipping school. Naruto looked like he was thinking something over and got a serious look on his face. Sakura looked surprised at him as he walked her by without saying anything. Sakura, what was that all about? And why are all these people staring at him like that? Maybe I should try to find out more about him, this suspense is killing me. Naruto simply walked to his home and thought about the things that happened today. He knows that people just wouldn't accept him right away. After all, in him was the beast that destroyed the village a long time ago. He heard a voice in his head that said, all that will change in time, you're a good man and later those stupid villagers will know that as well. Just stop thinking about that and go to bed, tomorrow you have an exciting day. Naruto smiled and got undressed and went to bed. The next day. The group was waiting for their senseis, they both were way too late and the group was bored. Finally they arrived. Kakashi, alright, since it seems you all are ready, I will explain the test. He showed 2 bells and continued, the test is to get these bells from us. One will be carried by me and the other by Itachi. If you get one you pass, if you don't you will be tied up against a pole and forced to see us eat our dinner. That is also the one that will fail and would be sent back to the academy. You guys have until noon. The genin looked shocked and Ino asked, but why are there 2 bells? We have 3 people here. Kakashi, that way someone will certainly be tied to a pole and sent back. Ino cried, that's not fair. Itachi, live with it, if you don't like it then catch an bell. Both of the Jonin had an bell and Kakashi said start. All 3 genin disappeared from sight. Kakashi, good, a ninja must be able to hide his presence, at least they know this rule. Itachi, let's go Kakashi, we have work to do. Before Kakashi could respond he was attacked by the 3 genin. Itachi joined the fight. Tenten took her distance and started to throw kunai, shuriken, and a buttload of other weapons. Ino just attacked with her fists. Naruto had his blade and attacked Kakashi. Kakashi just dodged an attack, but then Naruto did something unexpected. It looked like his was swinging his sword in a circle beside his body, but a shockwave hit Kakashi, leaving a small cut wound on his arm. Kakashi, what was that? No time to think it over, I must take him out now. Kakashi rushed forward and hit Naruto, but Naruto turned into smoke as soon as Kakashi's fist connected. Kakashi Shadow Clone Jutsu? When did he learn that? Itachi got rid of Ino and Tenten, only to find out that they were also shadow clones. Kakashi, do they all know Shadow Clone Jutsu? No. Impossible, is Naruto able to do a transformation jutsu on a shadow clone? That is the only logical explanation, but he shouldn't be able to do that. Kakashi nodded to Itachi and Itachi activated his Sharingan. It was like he was looking at something. Itachi, watch out Kakashi, below us. Both Jonin jumped away and just in time. A lot of weapons came out of the ground. Tenten crawled out of the ground. Tenten, damn it, I thought I had them. Kakashi, too bad, your timing was perfect, only we have an advantage of the Sharingan. Itachi, Kakashi, Naruto is coming. Kakashi looked to his left side and saw Naruto running towards him. He had the hand on his katana and Kakashi heard a click sound. The next thing he felt was pain on several places and he landed on one knee. Kakashi was panting. Itachi, what was that? Itachi looked shocked. I don't know exactly, I only saw dark blue blurs. Kakashi, reveal your eye quickly. Kakashi pushed his headband protector up, showing that his left eye was in Sharingan. Naruto yelled, Ino now. Kakashi was looking around, but he forgot one thing, to look in the direction where Itachi was at. A hard hit in the neck sended Kakashi to the ground, and then he felt a sword on his neck while he felt a pull on his belt where the bell was at. Naruto jackpot. Kakashi, how did you? Naruto, everything what happened before was all foreplay to give you guys a false sense of confidence. When I charged from your left side, you guys focused on me. When I attacked you with my Dark Slayer style, I knew Itachi-sensei would try to see how I did it, leaving him open for Ino's mind transfer jutsu. And that was our plan all along. Kakashi, your plan? Naruto, yes, we decided we couldn't get the bells on our own, and you said it yourself, individually we only had 33.3% chance of succeeding and we increased it to 99.9% with our teamwork. Kakashi laughed, that's all nice, but who are you going to give the bells? Naruto, the two babes, of course, they are my teammates. Kakashi looked surprised. Congratulations, you all passed. By the way, Ino, would you reverse your jutsu? Soon Itachi was back in his own body, congratulating the three genin. Itachi decided to treat the new genin to lunch. Naruto said he would join them soon, he wanted to discuss something with Kakashi. The rest left. Kakashi, what is it, Naruto? Naruto just wanted to know how you were doing. Kakashi, what do you mean? Naruto, I remember you from when I was young, you were one of the two people who actually gave a crap what happened to me. Kakashi, I smiled, so you remembered me, I should be honored, I am doing fine, although it was a bit of a shock when you were taken. Naruto, it was better that way, although I had a hard time, it was better than what I had to endure in the village and I always had someone to depend on. Kakashi, you mean Dante? I wanted to ask you something about him. Naruto, sure, ask away. Kakashi, is he the one that fights those strange creatures that seem to appear around the elemental countries? Naruto nodded, yes, those creatures are called demons. Normally they can't get here, but the past few years they seem to come from everywhere. Nasty little buggers, I can tell you that. Kakashi had to agree. Ninja like Itachi and himself can defeat one horde without too much effort. But Chunin had a hard time with one horde, and there are also bigger creatures, and even a Jonin had a hard time against those. Naruto continued, I remember one time in the land of grass, there were several hordes of the little buggers and one big one called an disaster or something, and I and Dante were smack in the middle. It sure was on hell of a party, and in the end we got a pretty big paycheck. Kakashi's eyes widened, you already fought those things. Naruto, yeah, if I didn't I wouldn't get strong and die because I didn't have any experience. Kakashi, why do you want to get strong? Naruto, I need power to defeat my enemies, to protect the ones that I love. Kakashi nodded, let's join the others, tomorrow we will start our first mission together and we would need to get ready for the things to come. They wanted to walk away, but an ominous feeling was filling the air. Then a dark swirling gate appeared and many dark creatures came out of it equipped with scythes. Kakashi, what here? Naruto shrugged, finally I was starting to get bored. Kakashi, Naruto. This isn't something to joke around with. This is serious. Naruto, if a larger demon was present I would get serious. And when he spoke he get repent from his back and charged the demons. Kakashi yelled at him to stay back, but he ignored it. Kakashi rushed after him, damn it. That idiot will get himself killed. He stopped because he was shocked from what he saw. Naruto caused casualties beyond belief. He slashed right and left, killing a majority of demons. He launched one demon in the air and jumped after it, killing it in the air. He grabbed the dead demon and stood on it, using it like a surfboard. When he descended he got his guns and started shooting demons that got in his way. When he landed only 6 demons remained from the 12 that appeared. He put the guns back in the holster under his trench coat and got Yamato. He got into a rushing stance and Kakashi only heard a click sound 2 times. The strange thing was that the demons were spraying blood and fell down. All demons were defeated in less than half a minute. Kakashi was in awe of his new student. Naruto, that wasn't as fun as I expected. Oh well, better luck next time. Kakashi, my kami. He killed a single horde of demons without even flinching and made it look like child's play. Naruto, shall we join the others? Kakashi just nodded. Better inform the Hokage about this and the fact that the creatures appear so close to the village. I get a bad feeling about this. Naruto was sitting in his living room. After the attack from the demons, the team split up and were expected tomorrow to begin their first mission. Naruto was sitting in a lotus position and soon he was deep inside his mind. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto was in some sort of bedroom. He looked around and saw someone on the bed. It was a girl that looked as old as him. She had long red hair and a figure that perverts only dreamed about. The only thing out of the ordinary were 9 foxtails behind her. This woman name was Q, short for QB. Flashback. Dante and Naruto were sitting in front of each other. Naruto was about 8 at that time. Dante, Naruto, I explained you have the QB inside you, yes? Naruto nodded. Dante, I want you to meditate and make contact with him. Naruto blinked with his eyes. But why? Dante, you are training with me to become strong, to fulfill your father's wish, right? Naruto, yeah, so? Dante sighed. If you can convince the QB to aid you, you will gain much more in power and you will have an ally with you at all times. Naruto nodded and started to meditate. Soon he was in a place that looked like a sewer. He felt some strange energy signals and walked to it. Soon he was in a big room with a huge cage in it. He heard footsteps and a shadow began to appear in the cage. Soon the person was more visible and he saw a beautiful woman. Naruto's eyes widened. KQB? The woman smirked. Yes? Naruto, what the hell? I thought you were a dude. QB got an annoyed look on her face. Just because I appeared as a giant fox, everyone thinks I am a terrible man. Naruto startled. Sorry, everyone told me you were a dude, and that you were evil because you attacked Konoha. QB smiled. Apology accepted, and that I attacked Konoha wasn't my fault. I was under a genjutsu and wasn't myself. When I regained my senses, I was here. Naruto, sorry, I didn't know. QB, you couldn't have. By the way, what are you doing here? Naruto, I came here to ask for your help. My uncle said it would be a great help for my plans in the future. QB, and what are your plans, and who is your uncle who asked you to come here? Normally people would find that a mistake because they have a certain opinion when it comes to demons. Naruto, I plan to fulfill my father's wish and become a great ninja. He was called the 4th Hokage, and my uncle is called Dante and he can't judge demon because he said he was half devil. What makes me a quarter devil? QB's eyes widened. Dante? The son of Sparta. Naruto looked amazed. You know him? QB nodded. Dante is known through the entire demon world as one of the strongest creatures ever alive. I greatly respect his father and him, but understand, kid, if I decide to help you there will be some demands. Naruto, demands? QB nodded. Yes, first of all, I want you to remove the seal so I can have more freedom. You can then summon me with a summoning jutsu. I can't escape since your devil blood will prevent it. Probably your father didn't know that little fact. Second. The QB smirked. I want you as a mate in the future. Naruto's eyes bulged out. Mate? What the? Why in Kami's sake would you want me as a mate? QB stuck a finger in her ear. You don't have to yell, I am rather sensitive. The reason why, well, there aren't many demons around anymore and the one that are around are not desirable to have as a mate. But you have the blood of Sparta running through your veins. That little fact alone already makes you a suitable mate. Naruto, but I am only 8 years old for Kami's sake. QB got an irritated look on her face. I said, in the future, but these are my 2 demands, take it or leave it, kid. Naruto was deep in thought. He didn't have any trouble with the first demand but the second, Well, it would be hard because he didn't know what other people he would meet or fall in love with. The QB looked at his face, and as if she read his mind she said, "If you meet another girl you love, that would be fine by me. I go both ways, you know." And she chuckled when she saw Naruto sweat drop, "And probably you wouldn't have to be restricted by only one mate, hee." Naruto looked up and said, "Fine, but I will decide how much power you get when I summon you." QB, it's agreed. Now remove the seal and we can get to business. Naruto got a shocked look on his face, "But you said in the future." QB got annoyed again. "I don't mean that, I mean helping you. I will increase the amount of devil blood in your body." Naruto looked embarrassed. "Oh, right," and he walked towards the seal and tore it off. The bars disappeared and the QB could walk around freely. QB, "Well kid, get ready, this is gonna hurt like hell," and she stretched her arms and red chakra developed Naruto. He screamed as his muscle increased and fat was removed from his, became taller and his features changed, got more stern, more mature. Finally it came to an end. QB, "I've increased the amount of devil blood in you. You are now half devil," and she chuckled, "I can't wait for the moment we seal our deal, hee," and with the last chuckle everything went black. After that QB became his tutor when it came to nin and genjutsu. Naruto changed the scenery of the sewer into a mansion so that QB would be more comfortable. They used a training room when they were training and a living room or bedroom for talking and discussions. End flashback. QB opened her eyes and mumbled, "I thought you forgot about me?" Naruto put up a happy face to cheer QB up. "Q, don't say that, how could I ever forget such a beauty as you?" QB had some humor in her red eyes. "You teaser, you only say that to make me feel better." Naruto smiled. "Did it work?" QB, "A little, so what's up?" Naruto, "Nothing much, only the demon attacks seem to occur more regularly these days, even had to get rid of a horde hellprides a few hours ago." QB, "Hellprides? The poor bastards didn't even know what hit them, only I don't know why these portals between this and the demon realm are opening." Naruto, "It's beginning to annoy me. If this keeps up and a few stronger demons appear, I might have to use my devil trigger and then it will be revealed that I am a half-devil." The QB stretched out, giving Naruto a good look of her body, and she lazily said, "If I were you I should inform the Hokage of your condition. If someone else finds out, you just say it's an bloodline trait and that they can confirm it with the Hokage." Naruto smiled, "That's what I like about you, really sometimes you're the muse behind my good ideas." QB smiled, "You little slimeball, I will reward you for that remark when the time comes." And she walked towards Naruto and gave him a little kiss on the nose. "But for now you need to wake up, your sensei is coming." Someone knocked on the door and brought Naruto back to reality. He got up and opened the door. It was Kakashi. "Kakashi, hi Naruto, the Hokage would like to have a word with you." Naruto nodded and together with Kakashi he went to the Hokage tower. Naruto entered the office while Kakashi would walk around the area. The Hokage created a jutsu so that the room would be soundproof. Naruto put up his hand. "Yo old man, what's up?" The Hokage got a serious look on his face. "I want to discuss something serious with you." Naruto, "Sure." The Hokage, "Kakashi told me what happened after the genin test. You seem to know more about these creatures you call demons." Naruto was scratching the back of his head. "That's right, I hunted them together with Dante before I came back here." The Hokage's eyes widened. "You say what? You hunt those things? And who is this Dante person exactly?" Naruto shrugged. "He is what you can call a demon hunter. Someone gives him a job, he completes it and gets paid. Dante is my biological uncle." The Hokage got annoyed. "Another thing I don't understand. If Dante is the brother of one of your parents, it would be known to us, but they never spoke a word about it." Naruto, "Half-brother to be exact. And maybe one of my parents didn't know the father, and since they are both dead we would never know. It could be both because I heard both of them had remarkable talents and strength." The Hokage, "What has that to do with it?" Naruto decided to come clean. "Dante is half-devil, his father was a full-blood devil, so that means one of my parents are half-devil as well." The Hokage's eyes widened. "What? Half-devil? That means you are quarter demon?" Naruto sighed. "First of all, it's devil, there is a huge difference between devils and demons. Demons are lower on the evolutionary ladder and are evil because they only have basic needs like eating human flesh, except the higher class demons who are intelligent and can be good. A devil, however, can decide to become good or evil and can live as humans, and to tell you the entire truth, I am half devil. Naruto explained the things he went through with Kyuubi. The Hokage was surprised when he heard Kyuubi was a girl, shocked when he heard about the broken seal, and totally freaked out that Naruto would be Kyuubi's future mate. Naruto explained his abilities. Naruto, this is secret, of course. I mean, not all villagers are happy that I am back, and if they hear this, then a huge conspiracy will begin. The Hokage nodded. I understand, but if one of your teammates hear that you have super strength, super speed, and super healing abilities, they will ask questions, especially if you go into that, what was it called again? Naruto answered, Devil Trigger. The Hokage nodded. Yes, if you activate the Devil Trigger, then I have to explain it one way or another. Naruto, I already discussed the problem with Q. She said that I could say it's a bloodline trait. The Hokage nodded. Well, since I finally know about this discovery of yours, I find it suitable to give you this. He walked towards the fourth Hokage's picture and removed the picture to reveal a safe. He opened it and emptied it. It held 1 letter, 2 scrolls, and 1 key. Naruto opened the letter and started to read. Dear Naruto, when you read this, it means that you're either 16 or Chunin. I first want to apologize for the fact I sealed the 9-tailed fox in you. I believe you are the only one that can control him since you are my son. Yes, you are my son and I am proud of it. With this letter you will receive 2 scrolls. In those scrolls you will find manuals of my most powerful jutsus. The key you will get is for the Namikaze compound. The gate can be opened by your blood. Make good use of it. Your mother asked me to write this in the letter. Basement last door, 2 colors. It's your mother's private room and I don't know what's in it. That's for you to find out. I hope you make good use of the items you receive and make us proud. We both love you and maybe we will meet again. With all our love. Minato Namikaze, aka the 4th Hokage and beloved wife Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto read the short letter with a sad look on his face. The Hokage was explaining a few things about the whereabouts of the Namikaze compound, but they were rudely interrupted. In the hospital restricted room, a red-headed woman was lying on her bed, just as usual the last 12 years. The doctors didn't expect that she would ever wake up, but the Hokage gave them the order to place her here. Only high-placed doctors were allowed. The identity of the person was highly classified. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki. After giving birth to Naruto, she fell into a coma for unknown reasons, but all doctors agreed she was lucky to be even alive. She survived, although she lost a lot of blood during labor. For the last 12 years she was here, in the same bed, only breathing lightly. Then suddenly her face twitched, and while doctors gathered around her, she heard a voice in her head while she was in a dark room. She saw a man with silver hair. Power and wisdom radiated from him. Kushina asked, "Who are you?" The man looked at her with his icy blue eyes and only said, "Wake up, power is here, danger is coming, wake up and soothe the sorrow of the descendant of Sparta with a legacy like no other. Arise, Kushina Uzumaki." Her eyes widened and screamed, "Naruto." The doctor tried to calm her. "Take it easy, miss. You've been in a coma for a long time and you are in no condition to move." Kushina laid down. "How long?" The doctor looked at his assistant. 12 years. Kushina shot up. "What? 12 fucking years? Where is he? Where is my son?" Before the doctor could answer, she jumped out of bed and ran away. The doctors were shocked. The doctor said that's impossible. No one can even walk after a 12-year coma, let alone run. Kushina ran out of the hospital and ran through the streets of Konoha towards the Hokage Tower. She rushed in and wanted to go into the office but was stopped by the Hokage's secretary. That's one mistake she would never make again when she felt a hard fist on her face. With Naruto. The Hokage explained the whereabouts of the Namikaze compound when he was interrupted when his secretary was smashed through the door. The reason for this devastation was in the opening of the door, panting. The Hokage recognized the woman and got a look of fear across his face. This was terrible timing, and he saw several scenarios in his mind, and none of them were good. He said, "Kushina." The redhead panted, "The one and only." The Hokage H. How? Kushina smirked, "How could I wake up? Beats me, I don't care either, I only care about one thing, where is he? Where is my son?" Before the Hokage could answer, Naruto said, "Say, old man, who the hell is this crazy woman?" Kushina turned to Naruto, "Shut up, kid, when grown-ups are talking, and I will hurt you later for the crazy woman remark. First, I have more important things to do, so, old man, I am gonna ask you one more time, where is Naruto?" The Hokage couldn't say anything and pointed his shivering finger towards a very shocked Naruto. The woman let out a shriek and rushed towards Naruto to lock him in a bear hug. When she finally released him, Naruto looked at the Hokage. "Naruto, so old man, this woman, this one right here is none other than my mother?" The Hokage nodded. "She is, I wanted to." Naruto raised his fist and punched through the table, and with a dark voice he said, Why did you tell me my mother was dead?" The Hokage was starting to sweat. "Please try to understand. You already had a tough childhood, and if I told you your mother was alive but in a coma, that would be even harder. You would sit by her bed every day, hoping every day she would wake up. The chance for that was very slim, and finally it would break you. That's why I decided not to tell you." The two others understood the Hokage's reasoning but still didn't agree to it. The Hokage explained what happened to Naruto through the years. Kushina was furious when she heard that the villagers abused her child, neglecting the dying wish of their leader and her husband. The worst thing was the fact her Naruto was crucified by a couple of Jonin bastards. She became even more furious when she heard that Naruto was raised by someone the Hokage didn't even know. The Hokage explained that he found it the best possible solution for Naruto. Then he changed the subject into something else. The Hokage, "Kushina, I might have a question for you that's kind of strange." Kushina gave the Hokage an interesting look while the Hokage continued, "We got some information from Naruto and I want to validate something with you. Do you know if you were adopted?" Kushina nodded. "I know for a long time I was adopted, but why do you ask?" The Hokage decided to explain to Kushina what Naruto told him about Dante and everything else. Kushina was surprised to say the least. "Kushina, so you are saying I am half devil or something? You've really gone senile, don't you, old man?" The Hokage shook his head. "It all makes sense to me now. You should have died giving birth to Naruto because of the sheer blood loss. On top of that, you woke up from a 12-year-long coma and was able to run over here, and you still look as young as always." Kushina W. What? She ran to the mirror and looked at herself. She couldn't believe what she saw. She really looked as young as the day she went into a coma. Kushina looked at the Hokage. "I still don't believe it. Maybe I have good genetics." Naruto interrupted. "I know how we can be sure," and he bit his finger and made some hand signs summoning jutsu. Red smoke erupted from his hand, and soon the Hokage and Kushina saw a beautiful woman. Naruto snickered. "Old man, mom, meet Kyuubi." Kushina was shocked and Naruto had to explain the whole story again. Kushina really had trouble controlling herself when she heard that Kyuubi would have Naruto as a future mate. "Kushina, why would something like you want my son to be your mate?" Kyuubi sighed and said, "I've explained it to Naruto already and made the deal with him, so it isn't any of your business." Kushina wanted to argue further, but Naruto interrupted it and asked, "Naruto Q, can you tell if my mother is the one with Sparta's blood?" Kushina looked confused too. Kyuubi sniffed at Kushina, who was severely disgusted that another woman would sniff at her like that. Then Kyuubi said, "There is no doubt about it, she's the one." Kushina was shocked about the fact that her biological father was a devil, although it started to make sense to her. She always healed quickly and was able to display amazing strength when the situation called for it. Naruto started to speak. "Shall we discuss this in the Namikaze compound, so that you can dress properly, mom?" Kushina looked at her clothes and blushed when she saw she was only wearing hospital pajamas. The Kyuubi cried, "Let me come with you, I really want to stretch my legs a bit." Naruto looked at her. "Then you should change your outfit." Kyuubi looked down. She had tight spandex pants that showed all curves and a tight spandex GI blouse with a good view of her cleavage. Kyubi, what's wrong with it? Naruto pointed his thumb to a point and Kyubi looked. The Hokage was KO by his own pervert thoughts while he had a nosebleed. Kyubi shrugged and red smoke appeared around her body and now she wore a red kimono. She asked, "Is this better?" Naruto nodded and the three left the office. Outside they bumped into a man. It was none other than Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi apologized but his visible eye bulged out when he recognized the red head. Kakashi Kushina? I thought you were dead? Kushina hugged Kakashi. Everyone seems to think that, but In was in a 12-year coma. Kushina explained why the Hokage kept it a secret to Naruto. Kakashi could understand his point of view but he was not happy, to say the least, that he wasn't informed. With a dangerous glare he said, "I think I need to have a little chat with the Hokage." Naruto smirked. "Good luck with that, he is knocked out at the moment." Kakashi, what? Did you hit him, Kushina? Kushina shaked her head. No. Let's just say he saw two headlights and was hit by the train that was on its way to Pervert Land. Kakashi didn't know what to think about that remark and chose to ignore it. Where are you three headed, and who is this lovely young lady, when he turned his gaze to Kyubi. Naruto, that's a long story but we are headed to the Namake's compound. The Hokage was kind enough to hand me the keys. Kakashi nodded and they parted ways. Naruto, Kushina, and Kyubi walked through Konoha. Kushina couldn't believe that this place didn't change at all. Of course there were some other shops then in her day but it still remained the same. Finally they arrived at the Namake's compound. Naruto bit himself and smirked some blood on the gate. It suddenly opened and they walked to the property. They came into a beautiful garden. In the middle there was a great fountain and statues were at the side of the walkway. The house itself wasn't as big as other mansions but it was still enough to maintain at least 40 people. The house itself was well furnitured. It had a spacious living room, a big kitchen and even a big dojo. Kushina pushed Naruto to the basement. All doors looked the same but there was one door that looked different. It had a board on it which was holding colors. Naruto, yes, the letter said I had to check out this room. There was a hint in it, 2 colors. Kushina nodded indeed. Naruto looked at the colors. There were pretty much it red, yellow, red, blue, purple, pink, ebony, beige, orange, gray and ivory. Naruto smirked and first touched ebony and then ivory. The door unlocked itself. Kushina, very good Naruto, how did you know? Naruto smiled, it was a hunch. Dante has 2 weapons and he called them ebony and ivory. Kushina was shocked, she never suspected that someone else would use a combination like hers. Kushina, Naruto, that Dante person, what is he like? I just found out that he is my half-brother and I want to know more about him. Naruto, Dante is what you can call free-spirited. It seems he doesn't take things seriously. He is a bit sarcastic at times. But he is a good guy when you get to know him and I learned a lot from him. He is also extremely strong and agile and he's always serious when there is a job to be done. Kushina, you really seem to admire him. Naruto nodded, I do. He is there to make the difference between good and evil and help the people who can't protect themselves. It's something admirable and although he can be harsh sometimes, he has his heart on the right place. They both walked into the room and Naruto saw a lot of books. He asked Kushina what they were. Kushina explained that those were information books. They held information about every clan, family tree, and abilities ever known to her. Naruto thought it was quite handy. If someone attacks him, he would know what attacks he could expect. Naruto knew that he would get a lot of work done in this house. It was big enough to do some training and enough reading material to develop counterattacks against certain techniques. And as a bonus, his mother returned to him. It was very clear for him he would have a blast here. The day after, Naruto returned to the Namake's compound after a day of boring deranked missions. He was really bored and after having lunch together with his mother he said he wanted to get some training done. Kushina stood up as well. Naruto, Mom, what are you going to do? Kushina smiled. I was pretty good with swords back in the day, so I decided to help you with training. Naruto, I'm normally used to train by myself, but hey, you can't hear me complaining. They both stood in the dojo. Kushina had her normal sword with her while Naruto had repent in his hand. Kushina smiled. Isn't that sword a bit too big for you, Naruto? Naruto shrugged. Nah. I can take it. Kushina rushed at Naruto and made a fierce strike at Naruto. Naruto dodged and was swinging his sword at Kushina. She blocked it barely and she was losing ground when they were struggling for domination. Kushina jumped backwards and made a series of strange movements with her sword. It looked like there were 6 swords now and she rushed to Naruto. Naruto didn't know the technique and jumped backwards. He was swinging the sword at his side and used drive to send a shockwave at Kushina. She was caught off guard and fell down. Naruto jumped with his sword raised and Kushina barely dodged it as the sword went deep into the ground. She made a hand sign and yelled fire style, great fireball jutsu, and a huge ball of fire appeared. Naruto stood ready to hit the ball away with his sword and he did. Kushina was surprised at this since she thought he would dodge. She barely got out of the way and she was stopped by something hard. It was Naruto. He raised his sword and it was hanging in front of her neck. Naruto, game over, mom. Kushina laughed. Well done, son. I never suspected you would win. I may have better luck next time. Naruto laughed as well as he removed the blade. Maybe, but who knows for sure, right? Oh, by the way, Kakashi sends his regards. Kushina chuckled. Kakashi did. Did you walk into him again? Naruto shrugged. You can say that, he is one of my senseis. Kushina looked surprised. He's your sensei? What a coincidence. Naruto, what do you mean? Kushina, he didn't tell you? Naruto shakes his head. Kushina, before you were gone your father and I decided he would be your godbrother. Naruto looked surprised. I see, so that's why he always kept an eye out for me when he wasn't busy for ANBU. God, I never would have guessed that my perverted sensei would be my godbrother. Kushina raised an eyebrow. Perverted? Naruto nodded. Yep, he reads his little erotic novel all the time and he doesn't care if he's alone or with other people. Even Itachi-sensei says it's embarrassing. Kushina chuckled. I gotta talk to him about that, exposing those kind of books in front of children. Who could have thought it? He was so serious when he was a child. Naruto looked surprised. Really? Kushina nodded yes. At first he only thought about the rules. The death of his father made him that way. His father neglected the rules to save his comrades, but in return they turned on him along with the rest of the village. Kakashi's father committed suicide because he couldn't handle it anymore, and after that Kakashi became obsessed by rules. His friend Obito Uchiha changed that after their teammate Rin got kidnapped, and shortly after that Obito and Kakashi saved Rin, but Kakashi lost his left eye. Obito died in that fight and left Kakashi his Sharingan to replace his lost left eye. Naruto, that explains his Sharingan in his left eye. Kushina, indeed. After that he loosened up a bit but was still serious. I would never think he would change into a pervert though. Naruto shrugged. Everyone has something in this line of work. I've seen screwed up people. I met Itachi that looks distant from people and his younger brother. Well, let's just say he thinks of himself like the ruler of the world and could destroy people by just pointing at them. Kushina laughed. Some Uchihas thought like that. They were strong but not the strongest. The best fighters of the Uchiha clan, however, didn't thought like that. They knew that there were always stronger people and did everything to become stronger. Naruto nodded. If you think your Kekkei Genkai is everything, you will neglect the most basic rule: become stronger by training and think about the strength of others and your own weaknesses. And then Naruto showed his foxy grin. Take old man Hokage for example. Kushina glared at Naruto. Don't tell me you are trying to fool him? Naruto, of course not, just a small prank. Although Naruto said that Kushina still wasn't assured, there was something in Naruto's attitude that made her fear for the worst. In the Hokage Tower. The Hokage woke up after his trip to Lollapurvi Dreamland. He saw Naruto, Kushina, and the beautiful young woman that appeared. He shook his head and asked, how long was I out? Naruto, just for a few minutes, we were just about to leave. The Hokage looked at them. He felt something was off, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. He chose to ignore it. He said his goodbyes to the group and they opened the door to leave, but were thrown back into the room because they were buried by an avalanche of paper. The Hokage's eyes widened and screamed, "What's going on here?" The secretary was struggling to get inside and she said, "This is today's paperwork. I know it's a little bit more than usual, but it was necessary." Something in the Hokage's brain started to short-circuit and he started to scream of agony. Suddenly a smirk appeared on Naruto's face and said, "Ah, gotcha." And Naruto, Kushina, Kyuubi, the secretary and the buttload of paperwork disappeared in a puff of smoke. It took a while before the Hokage realized what happened. He was the victim of a prank. In a justified rage he yelled, "Damn you, Naruto!" Naruto just came out of the shower. When he was dressed he walked to the room next to his to find Kyuubi on the bed. When he entered she opened her eyes, yawned and stretched. Lazily she said, "I was just having a nice nap. What do you want?" Naruto shrugged, "Just checking up on you. So how do you like the new residence?" The Kyuubi chuckled, "It isn't half that bad, it's pretty spacious." Naruto, "Yes it is, almost too big for just 3 people, but hey, you won't hear me complaining." The Kyuubi smirked, "You will need all this space sooner or later." Naruto, "I don't think so. Have you seen this place? It can household more than 40 people. The Kyuubi looked serious at Naruto. "That brings me to another important thing, and it isn't something you would like." Naruto looked strangely at Kyuubi. "What is it, Q?" The Kyuubi, "Sooner or later, you will need wives." Naruto's eyes bulged out. "Wives? As in, more than one?" The Kyuubi chuckled, "Yes, unfortunately it's one of the universal laws. When a race runs low on people, their bodies urge to reproduce a lot. The same goes for devils. Only you, Dante, and your mother are the only devils left in this dimension, and therefore..." Naruto smirked, "You're teasing me, right? Before I became a half-devil, Dante was the only active devil and he never had the need to settle." The Kyuubi shook her head. "He is a different case. He is much older than he let you know. He knows every aspect of his body and controls the urges of his body, unlike you." Naruto's sweat dropped. "That means, but hey, what about my mother?" The Kyuubi, "Well, although she is half-devil, she never awakened her true devil blood by the devil trigger, so that means her body still acts like a normal human, unlike you." Naruto started to get annoyed. "No. I refuse. I can't have multiple wives, I won't do it." The Kyuubi got a serious look on her face. "Trust me if I say it's for the best. Having multiple wives isn't a shame and it's better than the alternative." Naruto, "What alternative?" The Kyuubi sighed. "Demons and devils attract mates through pheromones. If the potential mate sniffs up the pheromones, he or she would come running. If you chose to ignore this universal law of reproduction, your pheromones will go out of control. Since you're half devil, half human, this will cause that every female human and demon in a 3-mile radius will come running to you in a sexual frenzy and they will simply take what they desire. I saw it happen once to a male devil and he ignored it. The poor thing couldn't walk for a damn month." Naruto's sweat dropped and then grunted, "But what will happen if I can't get more than one wife? Not everyone would be so understanding about this whole multiple wives stuff." The Kyuubi teasingly smiled, "Don't worry about that. If you get attracted to a potential wife, your body will do the rest. She wouldn't be even able to resist you." Naruto, "This is just great. First this whole thing that I am being abused by villagers, then to gain power I gain a future mate, and now this. Really, what god did I piss off to deserve this? No offense, Kyuubi." Kyuubi smirked, "None taken. Of course you would be pissed, but think about it from the bright side. A lot of adult men would kill someone to be in your shoes, even that perverted sensei of yours." Naruto just shrugged it off. "Oh well, guess I can't do anything about it." Then he asked, "How long will I have before those pheromone things start?" The Kyuubi was thinking, "Well, hard to tell. It differs with every devil. The average is between 14 to 16 years old, so you have some time left for that to happen. The only thing you don't have time for is for talking, don't you agree, Naruto?" Naruto looked confused, but then he looked at the clock on the wall. Oh shit, I'm gonna be late. See you later, Q. Gotta meet up with my team. QB just snorted and went back to sleep. Naruto quickly strapped his sword on his back and left the compound. 30 minutes later. Naruto was in time for the meeting, but as usual Kakashi wasn't. Everyone was just sitting while they were getting annoyed by Kakashi's sense of punctuality. Even Itachi placed a comment one time, but it didn't seem to bother Kakashi since he always seemed to be lost on the path of life. Finally he showed up and explained the mission that consisted that they had to capture a cat called Tora, again. Naruto whined, "New, not that stupid cat again. This is the 4th time this month. Can't that stupid lady put a leash on that thing?" Itachi muttered, "I hope so. If I have to do it more than 6 times this month, I will bring it back to her, piece by piece." Kakashi, now guys and girls, please don't hurt the objective or else we won't get paid and the village will lose an frequent client. Naruto sighed, "This shit is really getting on my nerves, but oh well, let's just catch that stupid cat again so that we can return home so I can continue my training." Kakashi smiled, "Now that's the spirit, Naruto." 1 hour later. Squad 7 captured the cat, again. Because they did this mission a few times, they knew how to capture the runaway beast quickly. Naruto handed over the cat to its respective owner. "Here is your cat, miss," again. The woman petted the cat. That was even worse than something Naruto could came up with when he was in a sadistic mood. Irika was sitting in front of Squad 7 and said, "Good job. Now for the next mission. We have painting fences, walking dogs, babysitting." He was interrupted when Naruto started to scream, "Please no more. Please send us on a real mission. I have enough trouble staying awake as it is." Itachi sighed, "The kid has spunk, I like it. The only thing I won't like is that I have the Hokage breathing down my neck when this is over." Tenten decided to support Naruto with a loud yeah. "Kakashi, he really has the attitude of his mother sometimes. This is gonna spell trouble for me and Itachi." While the Hokage chuckled, Irika started to get annoyed and said, "Who do you think you are? You're just a mere genin, which means you can only participate in D-ranked missions. Or must I explain the whole mission ranking system again?" Naruto, spare that crap for people willing to listen. "Irika, what did you say? How dare you, you inso, huh?" When he looked at Naruto, he saw he was in a lotus position, snoring. While the Hokage, Kakashi, and even Itachi started to chuckle, Irika's face went red with justified anger and started to scream at Naruto. After 10 minutes, Irika stopped screaming because he discovered it wasn't any use at all. The Hokage smiled, "Kakashi, would you like to wake Naruto up, please? I have something to tell you." Kakashi pushed Naruto a little, but it didn't work. Then Kakashi got a cruel idea. He made a few hand signs and some water appeared and splat Naruto, who woke up pretty quick after the cold bath. Naruto grunted, "You bastard, I'll make you pay for that." Kakashi smiled, "Any day, Naruto, any day." Kakashi and Naruto became pretty close after Naruto confronted him about the tight connection between Kakashi and Naruto's parents. The Hokage interrupted the two now to get serious. "I heard that you want to have a higher mission and I decided to give you one." Naruto and Itachi smirked while Tenten and Ino let out a little cheer. Kakashi just smiled and said, "What does the mission entail?" "The Hokage, you will escort a man to the land of waves. He is a bridge builder and you will protect him until he finishes his bridge." The Hokage gave a signal to let the client in and soon he walked through the door, holding a bottle of sake. The man said, "Hi, my name is Tazuna and I am a master bridge builder." "What? They are sending brats now? How are they able to protect me on my journey? Especially that blonde guy with the stupid look on his face." Suddenly everyone felt a wind while Naruto was holding his katana. And then without a warning the bottle of sake fell apart. It did not break, it just slided apart in pieces. Naruto said with a deep dark voice, "I am quite capable and sometimes I have a short fuse, so I advise you to never talk about me or any of my companions like that again or else you will lose more than your booze, got it?" Tazuna nodded with eyes big of fear and the Hokage spoke again with a sigh, "Then I would only like to say two things. First of all, you will be accompanied by another student, Sasuke Uchiha. This little bit of information had various effects on everyone. Itachi and Kakashi let out a huge sigh. Sure, Itachi was Sasuke's older brother, but he had such a big ego. Tenten and Naruto cursed under their breath, and only Ino let out a little hooray in her mind. The Hokage smiled. He knew Sasuke wasn't popular in the village except with his fangirls. He only hoped that Naruto would get along with him since he heard what he did to Sasuke on the academy. He continued, and second thing is to end this conversation, you will return to your homes and pack for the journey and equip yourselves. Now dismissed. Everyone left, but Kakashi was held back by the Hokage. The Hokage spoke to Kakashi. Kakashi, I know you have tight connections with Naruto, is that correct? Kakashi nodded. Indeed. As you know, his parents designated me as his godbrother, and a few days ago he found that out, and since then we spent some time together. Why? The Hokage smiled. I know he and Sasuke were never on good terms to begin with. It started on his first day of the academy. It seems he did something to deserve Sasuke's anger, and Sasuke in turn tries to get back on him any way possible. Kakashi sighed. I knew it would come to this, so you want me to prevent an all-out war between Naruto and the young Uchiha? The Hokage nodded. Indeed. Young Sasuke is very proud and never forgot what Naruto did to him at the academy. Naruto has a don't screw with me or you're dead attitude. A conflict is bound to happen. Kakashi looked at the Hokage. I will do what I can, but I can't make any promises. Sasuke let his ego grow so big that it will blow up right in his own face, sooner or later. By the way, he can better learn that through Naruto than with an enemy that wants him dead. The Hokage sighed. The huge ego was the problem of young Sasuke Uchiha. He knew it just as much as Itachi did. The Hokage said, I know, but if he pushes Naruto too far, I don't know what's worse, an bloodthirsty enemy or an pissed off Naruto. Kakashi sighed. Fine, I will watch those two, but don't get your hopes up, Sasuke might have some bruises when he returns. And then Kakashi left. 1 hour later. Sasuke was the first one that waited at the gate. Shortly after that, Ino appeared, who immediately started to annoy Sasuke about a date, who responded the way he usually did, he ignored it while he was brooding. Then Itachi and Tazuna appeared. Tenten and Naruto also appeared at the same time. He met her when he went to the gate after he made a quick stop at his residence to return Kyubi to her place. Sasuke snorted when he saw Naruto but didn't make any comments. 10 minutes later, Kakashi walked to the group while he was reading his little orange book. Kakashi looked up. I see everyone is here, then let's start walking. After a few minutes they started their mission. Sasuke went to the back of the group where Itachi was. Sasuke, hey bro? Itachi looked at Sasuke. What is it? Sasuke, what do you know about that Naruto kid? Itachi shrugged. He seems nice enough. He has a clear head and seems strong, although he has a short fuse sometimes. He sure likes to train a lot. Sasuke nodded. Of course, but he would still have no chance in front of the Sharingan, right? Itachi stopped and looked at his younger brother and calmly said, Sasuke, the Sharingan is as strong as its wielder. It can be a strong weapon, but it doesn't mean it makes the bearer invincible. There are powers in the world far stronger than the Sharingan. Just think about the Rinnegan, the so-called founders of ninjutsu. Sasuke sighed. His older brother always liked to remember Sasuke that the Sharingan isn't an almighty weapon. But because of the Sharingan, the Uchiha clan got its mighty name and has played a big part in the history of Konoha and all shinobi nations. Sasuke wanted to know more about Naruto. There was something strange about him, and not just because he kicked his ass back at the academy. Yes, it was true, his ass was kicked. He asked Fru about him. Isn't there really anything you can't tell about him? Itachi shook his head. No, I only heard his hobbies and his dreams for the future, but for the rest he is pretty isolated. It seems he likes to spend his time with his teammate Tenten, but normally she is doing the talking. He doesn't like to talk about himself in any way, and even for Kakashi, who spends a lot of time with him, his personal feelings towards everything and anyone is still a mystery yet to be solved. Sasuke decided to drop the matter since his brother didn't seem to know more or doesn't want to let out more. Eventually the group walked and saw a puddle of water. Naruto water? But it hasn't rained for days. This is really pathetic, even for Chunin. He watched over the group. Tazuna, Tenten, Ino and Sasuke doesn't seem to notice, but Kakashi and Itachi seem to know about it. Naruto suddenly let out a small cough, catching Kakashi and Itachi's attention. He looked at them and Itachi blinked 2 times. Naruto gave a barely visible nod. It seems the 2 jonin want to wait and see what happens. When they were a few feet from the puddle, 2 ninja came out of it. They were connected with their gauntlets by a chain. They rushed towards Kakashi, who was torn apart by the sharp chain. Itachi got in a defensive position and yelled, "Genin, protect Tazuna." He turned to the 2 ninja, "Who are you? What do you want?" They chuckled, "We came for the old man, leave now and you will get to live." Itachi wanted to place a remark, but suddenly he was tackled by Naruto. He felt something flying over him. It were Hellprides and they suddenly killed the 2 ninja. Kakashi suddenly came out of the bushes. Ino was surprised. "Kakashi, I thought you were dead." Kakashi answered, "Looks can be deceiving, protect Tazuna, these things are dangerous." Ino looked at the place Kakashi was killed and saw a log that was turned to shreds. Itachi was back on his feet. "Thanks Naruto, I didn't notice them so quickly, normally the atmosphere changes a little when these things appear." Naruto got repent off his back and smirked, "Don't mention it, and you're right, so that means they spawned a little bit away from this place, which means they were summoned." Itachi looked at Naruto. "Summoned?" "Naruto, I'll tell you the details after this, first we have to kill these little bastards." Itachi shook his head and wanted to say that Naruto should stay back, but Kakashi interrupted, "Let him be, Itachi, you couldn't stop him anyway and he is quite capable to handle these things, let's go." And with that the trio attacked. Both Itachi and Kakashi were doing pretty good, although they only had a kunai. Naruto rushed at him with repent and started chopping away at some Hellprides. Then suddenly he was surrounded. He smirked and his sword started to glow red and he smashed it on the ground. All of the Hellprides were thrown into the air because of the impact. Naruto jumped up while he placed repent on his back. He got out Yamato, and although it didn't seem like he moved, all of the Hellprides were gushing out blood. But no matter how much they killed, their numbers kept increasing. Kakashi, "Darn it, is there no end to these things?" Naruto, "It seems not, and that means that there is a higher demon nearby, we gotta kill it before we are overwhelmed with Hellprides." Itachi, any bright ideas? Naruto smirked, "Like I said, kill the higher demon and the Hellprides will disappear." Kakashi, "Can you handle these little bastards together with the others so that I and Itachi can take care of the higher demon?" Kakashi just sliced a demon in half and gave Naruto a thumb up indicating he would manage. Naruto gave Itachi a quick nod and they left to the place the Hellprides came from. After 2 minutes they saw the demon. He looked human. He noticed Naruto and Itachi and turned around. He wore an black cloak. He was bald, but his face was decorated with a large beard. You could surely doubt he was demon, if he didn't have those red eyes. The demon had a soft voice and he spoke, "So, you two were able to find this place and were able to reach it alive, impressive." Naruto faked like he was hurt. "You really thought those Hellprides could kill us?" "I'm hurt." The demon looked at Naruto and said, "You dare to mock me, human? I will show you what a real demon can do." He screamed as dark smoke enveloped his body. Eventually it dissipated and revealed the demon's real form. It had gray armor and large curved horns. Its eyes glowed red. Instead of 2 arms he had 4 with the lower ending in sides. The demon shouted, "Now do you see my glorious power?" Naruto just cocked his eyebrow. "Glorious? More like ugly, and that smell, damn, that smell can knock an opponent of his feet." The demon seemed to be shocked by the mockery while Itachi whispered in his ear, "Would you like to get us both killed?" Naruto just ignored him while the demon was screaming, "You insolent human! You shall die!" And the demon attacked. Both Naruto and Itachi dodged his rush. The demon quickly went after Naruto, but he didn't suspect Naruto would turn his dodge into an attack. Naruto grabbed repent and quickly cut off the demon's lower arm with the scythe on it. The demon screamed in pain and in a blind rage he attacked Naruto again. Quickly simply dodged the attack, and before the demon knew it the other arm was cut off, leaving the demon with just 2 normal arms. Naruto smirked. So much better, don't you think? The demon grunted, I will get you for this pathetic human. And suddenly a sword appeared in the demon's hand. He ran towards Naruto and slashed. Naruto blocked it and he and the demon were fighting for dominance. Naruto was pushed back a little, but suddenly the demon stopped fighting and collapsed. Naruto looked at the reason why the demon collapsed and saw Itachi. Itachi, if you are fighting two opponents, be sure you won't get blindsided, demon. The demon smirked, this is far from over, my master will avenge me, you can count on that. And with that the body turned to dust. All the hell prides disappeared and the dust began to act strange. It came together and took the form of something. When it was done, there was a scythe laying on the place where the demon died. Naruto cocked his eyebrow and devil arm? Itachi looked at Naruto, devil arm? Naruto explained, when a strong demon is killed, sometimes his essence is formed into a weapon to serve the one that killed him. The weapon is then called an devil arm. It is a special weapon only suited for the one that killed the demon. It has special powers on its own that will be explained to the wielder through visions. Someone else can't touch or wield the weapon unless he killed the one that possessed the weapon or he receives it from him, so I guess it's yours. Itachi looked at it and grabbed the weapon. He suddenly heard a voice in his head whispering abyss. Itachi felt information running through his mind and started to test them. He saw a tree and slashed the scythe to it while he whispered ghostly devastation. Suddenly small reaper-like ghosts went to the tree, destroying it. Itachi whispered, impressive, I like it. Naruto nodded, you should, it's a rare thing you obtained a devil arm. Itachi looked at Naruto, how do you know all this? Naruto smirked, my uncle who adopted me hunt these things for a living and he taught me a lot. Itachi, interesting, going to ask the Hokage about this, uncle. Let's go back to the others. Naruto nodded and they left. When they returned, Naruto was relieved no one was killed. Even Sasuke was alive. That made his mood go down a little, but hey, you can't have everything, right? Naruto arrived and saw something he didn't like. Ino fought for her life and even killed 3 demons, 2 more than Sasuke since he was mostly covered by Tenten. Ino, Sasuke, did you see that? Great, huh? Sasuke, more luck than skill. Ino, why are you always putting me down? Sasuke, because you're annoying. Ino glomped, Sasuke, please, don't be so mean, I didn't do anything to you. Sasuke hit Ino away with his elbow, I said it so many times, stay away from me. I have no interest in you whatsoever. Ino was wheezing and crying on the ground because the elbow hit her pretty hard. Suddenly Sasuke felt something scrape by his face. It was a chakra bullet from Naruto. With a dangerous glare he said to Sasuke, you're really in disgrace, aren't you? We're supposed to work together on this mission, but you rather hurt one of your own allies. Next time I see you're hurting one of my teammates or any other girl, you will know how it is to live like an eunuch. Sasuke shivered when he saw Naruto's dangerous glare and heard his voice. Kakashi's eye closed half, which gave his visible face an helpless look. He thought to himself, I should prevent this thing from happening, but he deserves it. Why doesn't he have the morale standards like Itachi? Itachi also had his own thoughts about his little brother. Why are you being such a disappointment, Sasuke? Why don't you show any warm feeling to anyone? Oh well, you deserve that treatment Naruto just gave you, because Naruto is right. Then Itachi turned to Tazuna, we need to talk. You lied to us. Tazuna started to sweat and said, what do you mean? Naruto, he means the fact that 2 amateur Chunin lowlifes came for you. If the Hokage knew that, he would classified it as a higher ranked mission. Tazuna decided to come clean since there was no use in lying anymore. It's true. The land of waves is a poor country and the little money we earn is being taken by the man who rules our country, Gato. Itachi, Gato? As in Gato import and export? Tazuna nodded, yes, the same one. We decided to bring enough money together to build a bridge that connected us to the mainland. Gato don't like that idea since he would lose a lot of power, because then we could transport our good ourselves to the mainland and his export business would be useless. I am the bridge builder, which means, if I am dead there will be no bridge. Gato is a ruthless bastard who would even sell his soul for power. Naruto looked up and Itachi said, "We should abandon you." Tazuna, I understand. If I need to, I will go back alone. Of course I will be killed by Gato's goons and my family will cry every day wondering why I had to die. My grandson would of course curse Konoha to the deepest pits of hell because they had the power to protect me. But oh well, orders are orders, right? Most people got a guilty look on their face. Naruto thought, nice one, old man, playing the guilt card like that. You're really a good card player. Let's see how Kakashi and Itachi will react to your bluff. Kakashi said, well, squad, what about it? Shall we continue or turn back? Naruto, of course we will go on. I've waited so long for a real mission and I am not going to back down now. 10-10, I agree with Naru, too. I agree we go on as well. Ino, I don't know you guys, this isn't something we signed up for. Sasuke, HN. Let's keep moving. Itachi, then it's decided. This mission is off the scope, which means if either me or Kakashi decide the mission has become too dangerous, we will abort it immediately, understand? That night, the group set up camp and Naruto said he would gather some firewood. He walked into the forest and searched for some good pieces. He got some and wanted to return but was stopped by Itachi. Itachi looked at him and said, I think you have some explaining to do. Kakashi, who was standing nearby, also said yes indeed. Naruto sighed. He knew this day would come eventually. Naruto, my uncle Dante, who adopted me when I was 4, hunts these creatures called demons for a living. Since I was young he was training me and passed down a lot of knowledge onto me. Itachi, you told me that before, but that doesn't explain the power you have to fight those things. Naruto smirked, that's simple, a good diet and a lot of liquids. Kakashi, cute, but we don't buy that. Naruto sighed, there is no way I can fool you, right? Both the Jonins got a serious look on their faces and Naruto decided to come clean. He explained everything. Itachi was amazed. Kakashi, on the other hand, was shocked. The wife of his sensei was a half-devil and Naruto as well. Kakashi, so, you're a half-devil with extraordinary powers. The Kyuubi is actually a she and she helped you and in return she wants to be your, mate. Naruto nodded, that's about it. Of course this is supposed to be a secret and I discussed it with the Hokage already that if I have to use my devil trigger on this mission that we could explain it as in Kekkyagenkai. Itachi nodded, that would be a plausible explanation. That way no one suspects anything about your heritage. Naruto, right. Now let's go back to the others before they start to suspect something. The 3 people returned to their camp. Sasuke gave them a suspicious glare but didn't ask anything because he knew neither Itachi and Kakashi would answer and Naruto would only give stupid or sarcastic remarks. Strangely enough, it was Ino who started a conversation around Naruto. She looked at Naruto's hands a few times and noticed something strange. Ino, Naruto, may I ask you something? Naruto looked at Ino, sure. Ino, I saw the palms of your hands and I noticed that you have a big scar on each one on the exact same location. Kakashi and Itachi startled since they both heard what happened to Naruto when he was little. How will Naruto react on that question? Naruto smiled, I can tell you guys, I wasn't popular enough when I was a kid and some Jonins thought it would be nice to crucify a defenseless child of 4 years old. Ino, Tenten, and even Sasuke looked shocked at Naruto and Tenten cried out, that's terrible. Sasuke, just a story to make yourself look important. Ino, shut up, Sasuke. Before Sasuke could respond, Itachi came into the conversation. It is true. Naruto was an orphan and was abused, beaten, and tortured a lot. Of course the Hokage tried to stop it but he can't see everything. One day his uncle came to the village by chance and saw a boy who was crucified after he was abused. He took care of the Jonin who did that to him and he quickly found out that the child was his nephew. He went to the Hokage and decided to take away Naruto for his own protection and for training. Naruto glared at Itachi while a little bit of humor was in his eyes. You know more about me than I do, you should be my biographer. Itachi turned away his head. It's information every Chunin gets when they graduate. You're one of the most extreme cases we had in Konoha, and we made an example how to respond to that kind of situation. Sasuke just glared at Naruto. Ino noticed it and said, "Yeah, you're not the only one with a hard past, Sasuke, and at least Naruto didn't become a jerk like you. He's twice the man you will ever be." Ino immediately made a statement that she isn't his fangirl anymore, not after what he did to her. Sasuke growled and wanted to jump up, but one glance from Naruto stopped him. In his mind, he already made up that he will get Ino for her insolence. If he couldn't get Naruto, he will simply take his anger out on Ino. Later that night, Sasuke had a very interesting conversation with Itachi. "Sasuke, big brother, what you said earlier about Naruto, is it really true?" Itachi nodded. "It's true, the story is far less gruesome than the real thing. I can tell things about what happened to him to give you nightmares. The people who had sympathy for Naruto when he was young still have them. When we return at Konoha, you should ask about his youth to Kurenai Yuhi. She can tell you enough horror stories about Naruto's youth to last a lifetime. Compared to him, our suffering about losing our family and friends is nothing." Sasuke snorted. "Like what? Now I'm getting interested." Itachi sighed. Sasuke was developing an unhealthy interest in Naruto, and he said, "I don't know the specific details, but I heard he was haunted, abused, and tortured almost every week. Some even used powerful genjutsus on him." Sasuke, "Then how can he be so cheerful at times?" Itachi looked at the sky. "Even I don't know that. I don't know his cheerfulness is a masquerade or real. Maybe he decided at one point of his life to make the best of it and stopped crying and moping. Maybe he didn't care about what happened to him anymore, and why. I guess that will be a mystery that we might never find out." With Naruto and Tenten. Naruto and Tenten had the same kind of conversation like Itachi and Sasuke had, only it started a bit more cheerful. Naruto just told her about the prank he pulled on the villagers. He ran away from them and led them straight to the ANBU headquarters, who immediately took care of them. Tenten laughed. "You really did that? That would give the villagers something to think about." Naruto smiled. "It certainly did. I think I heard one of them call out to his mommy." Tenten got a more serious face. "Why were you hated so much, Naruto?" Of course Naruto knew the reason, but found it unnecessary to tell Tenten right now. He simply shrugged and said, "I really don't know. Perhaps they didn't like my face, who can tell?" Tenten, "But how did you survive and even stay so cheerful?" Naruto acted serious for the first time. "Sometimes you gotta quit crying and complaining about things you can't change at the time. If you go that way, you either end up like Sasuke bastard or you simply destroy yourself." Tenten showed her smirk again. "Thank Kami you didn't turn out like Sasuke. One of those is enough for Konoha, thank you very much. And his fangirls are as stupid as he is." Naruto smiled as well. "That's one of the few things I thank Kami for, and for the fact you're not one of his fangirls. You're the only girl I can chill with." Suddenly they stopped talking when Ino came to sit by them. Naruto and Tenten looked surprised, and Tenten said, Sasuke is over there with his brother." Ino just looked at Tenten. "I know, that's why I am sitting here, far away from him." Naruto smirked. "Well, look here, someone received a bad wake-up call and faced that the brooding dark superhero is actually a good-for-nothing attention getter." Ino got a mad look on her face. "I'm done with him. He treats his fangirls like garbage and ignores them, but that elbow hit he gave me was enough for me. I've been an idiot, but not anymore." Naruto nodded. "Good, then you can finally move on with your life and do more useful things, like training." Ino smiled. "Perhaps I will, but be careful, I might get stronger than you." Naruto startled a bit. He didn't expect that response, but then he smirked and said, "Yeah, right, the day that will happen is the day that hell freezes over." They talked a bit and then decided to go to sleep. They didn't know what will happen tomorrow, but if something happened, they need their rest. The next day, the group woke up and started walking. Itachi and Kakashi took the front, followed by Tazuna. After that came Sasuke, who walked alone, and after that came Naruto, Ino, and Tenten. Naruto and Tenten found out that Ino had a personality, and a nice one at that. Soon the two girls could get along just fine. Naruto walked a bit faster until he reached Kakashi. Kakashi looked at him and said, "Is there something you wanted to say, Naruto?" Naruto walked next to Kakashi. "I've been thinking." "Kakashi, that's a surprise." Naruto snorted, "Very funny. I've been thinking about the demon attack from yesterday. It was a little bit too convenient that a larger demon appeared on our way to escort Tazuna back to his home." Kakashi looked strangely at Naruto. "What do you mean?" "Naruto, I started thinking when Tazuna said a simple sentence, Gato is a ruthless bastard who would even sell his soul for power. I think, maybe he has." Both Itachi and Kakashi gave Naruto a strange look, and Naruto sighed. Normally hired demons doesn't involve themselves with humans. But sometimes a hired demon can be tempted to offer his services to humans for a payment. Unfortunately for the summoner, demons doesn't accept money, rather their soul. Itachi, it could be a possibility. It is strange that stronger demon appeared at that location. So it's also possible that we meet more demons along the way. Naruto nodded. "Indeed, I just want to find out how strong that demon is. If the demon we killed was his strongest servant, it could be a possibility that the higher demon would show himself if he thinks Gato's soul is worth it." Kakashi looks disturbed at Naruto. "You really get a kick out of fighting those demons, don't you, Naruto?" Naruto shrugs and smiles. "They only live to torment humans, so someone has to deal with them, and those fights are more interesting than with other ninja. What can I say, I like a challenge. Dante said it's in my blood." Itachi looks at Naruto. "For your sake, I hope that urge won't be the end of you someday, Naruto." The group didn't notice they were followed by two creatures. They looked more like shadows because they were concealing themselves. The first one said, "It looks like that idiot got himself killed by mere humans. What a disgrace." The second one nodded. "You're right, brother. He always had a big mouth about his abilities. I'm glad they killed him so that we don't have to hear him bragging about how strong he was." The first one said, "They all look pretty pathetic except that blonde one. I don't know, but there is something different about him." The second one said, "You're right, he looks the most capable of them. But it wouldn't matter, a human is a human and they are no chance for us, let alone our master." The first one responded, "You're right, we let those two hired ninjas do our dirty work. Only I'm still not comfortable about that female, she is too soft." The second one nodded, "But strong for human terms, we'll see what happens and intervene if necessary." They wanted to leave but heard a click sound. They turned around and saw a man with white/silver hair dressed in red. One of the creatures hissed, "Dante the Dark Knight. The son of that traitor Sparta, what are you doing here?" Dante smirked, "I've been here quite some time now and heard you annoying conversation. You know I really hate Siamese demons, they're annoying. So, who are you working for and what is he planning?" The second creature hissed, "We won't tell you, our master will kill us." Dante shrugged and calmly said, "Perhaps, but if you won't tell me you die anyway, and on top of that, it would be much more painful." The creatures looked at Dante with eyes filled of hate and a little bit of despair. They both heard the rumors what happened with demons who wouldn't tell anything to Dante, a fate even worse than the lowest circle of hell. They remained silent for a while and Dante said, tick tock, time is running out, you boys, so what's it gonna be? Are you two gonna spill the beans or are we gonna play the demon anatomy game? One of the demons looked scared and said, "Please not that, we'll tell you anything." Dante got an icy glare in his eyes and said, "Then start talking." The demons told him everything. About that Gato summoned their master from the demon realm. That Gato would give his soul for wealth and power and that the demons would do anything to prevent that the bridge would be built. They even told their master's name and abilities. Dante smirked, "Well done, that wasn't so hard, was it?" One of the demons said, "Can you remove your guns, please?" Dante's smirk became even wider. "No. I didn't say I would let you guys live." The eyes of the demons widened. "What? You lying bastard." Dante made an insulted face. "I didn't lie. I never said I would spare you guys if you spilled your guts. But I'll make it up to you, you guys will die quick and won't feel a thing." The two demons lunged at Dante in a pathetic attempt to save their lives. Dante smiled and said jackpot, and he pulled the trigger and left two demons dead on the ground. With the group. The group was traveling by a small, simple boat. It didn't have an engine so that they wouldn't get noticed. The fact there was a thick mist helped in that department. Tazuna explained the situation the land of waves was in and how the people lived. The boat reached shore and the group disembarked. The group obviously heard something in the bushes. They looked at it intensively and soon a rabbit came out of it. Its fur was as white as snow and was looking at the group. Kakashi was thinking a rabbit? But why is its fur white? They only get that in the winter when there isn't much sun, which means it was raised in a dark place. Something's wrong here. He suddenly said, "Get down." Everyone went to the ground except Naruto, who just sidestepped. A huge blade was spinning in midair and ended in a nearby tree. The next second someone was standing on the blade. The man looked scary, although only his eyes were visible because the lower part of his face was covered with bandages. The man said, "I see why the two demon brothers of the mist couldn't finish the bridge builder off. Who would have thought that he would be escorted by two of Konoha's finest, Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja, and Itachi Uchiha, the dark menace?" The two jonins looked up and Itachi said to Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the hidden mist. "Zabuza, I'm honored, you know my name. The only thing that I find disrespectful is that you two brought along those pathetic excuses for ninja." Sasuke was strangely enough shaking and was thinking, "I've never felt so much killing intent before. The suspense is killing me. Jonin fighting to survive." Kakashi noticed Sasuke shaking and I smiled while he said, "Don't worry Sasuke, I never let my team down." Although Sasuke was shaking, the words of Zabuza had another effect on Naruto. He was pissed off. Naruto said, "Hey Nobrows, why don't you find out how much of a sorry excuse for a ninja I am? And what's that big sword for? Are you compensating for something?" Zabuza glared at the young blonde. "Shut up when grown-ups are talking, brat. I won't get worked up or insulted by a genin brat who is playing ninja." Naruto smirked. "Why not? Because you can't think of a good comeback, or just because you're plain stupid? You don't have much working for you, I can see that already." Zabuza was growling while Kakashi and Itachi made an helpless expression. Kakashi was thinking, "Naruto, why do you always have to be the nail on someone's coffin?" Itachi was thinking something similar. "It's just like with that demon. But this isn't a simple demon, Naruto, and I don't know if you can handle your first human kill yet." Suddenly Zabuza was laughing. "You've got guts, kid, I'll hand you that. You know what? If Kakashi and Itachi stay out of it, I'll consider if you'll be my warm-up." Naruto was stretching his limbs like he was getting prepared for a simple sparring match and said, "Fine with me, but I think I'll be more than just a simple warm-up." Itachi said, "We won't allow that, Naruto, it's just two." Suddenly Kakashi raised his arm in front of Itachi and said, "We agree, but Naruto, be careful. He didn't get the title of Demon of the Hidden Mist for free, you know, those kind of names are earned." Itachi looked surprised at Kakashi and said, "Kakashi, what do you think you're doing?" Kakashi leaned over to Itachi. "Naruto revealed his heritage last night and I just want to see how far those abilities go. In the worst case he gets beat up a little and we can intervene." Naruto got repent of his back and Zabuza whistled and said, "So you like swords too? I gotta say it's excellent craftsmanship, but weren't you talking about compensating for something?" Naruto shrugged. "I'm compensating for all the ugly faces around the world like yours. I chop them off and make the world a more beautiful place, unlike your meaning of compensation." A vein popped out of Zabuza's head and yelled enough, and he rushed at Naruto. Naruto thought he's pretty fast for such a big guy and he blocked Zabuza's attack with repent. The two started a fierce sword duel. The two fighters proved that their skills with a sword was excellent. Every time Zabuza striked, Naruto blocked, and the same thing happened when Naruto striked. At one point the two swords connected and the two were in a deadlock. Naruto slowly started to slide his sword against Zabuza's so that small sparks appeared between the blades. Zabuza lost his focus on the deadlock for a part of a second and Naruto took his chance. He pushed Zabuza's sword away and kicked him in the midsection. Zabuza made a smart move and turned his body backwards so that the hit would only scamp him. The two took their distance and Zabuza said, "Not bad, brat, your skill with a sword is impressive, but you'll need more than sword skills to win against me. He quickly put the sword on his back and made some hand signs. Itachi could clearly see with his Sharingan what he was planning. Zabuza stopped with the hand signs and said water style, water dragon jutsu. A dragon made of water appeared and rushed at Naruto. Naruto smirked and jumped high in the air. Suddenly some sort of platform made of energy appeared and Naruto jumped higher so that he was jumping over the dragon made of water, and Naruto said while he was descending at Zabuza's direction, blade of wind. Suddenly Zabuza gushed out blood when Naruto hit him. He had a huge slash wound on his chest. The eyes of Kakashi and Itachi widened. Kakashi thought a nature-type jutsu? That's way too advanced for Genin. Itachi a nature attack? He has been trained well. Zabuza looked surprised at Naruto while he was thinking that brat even wounded me. I've underestimated him. I guess I have to get more serious. I'll kill him first and then retreat in the mist so that Kakashi and Itachi can't take advantage of me in my weakened state. Zabuza said while he closed his eyes. Ninja art, hidden mist jutsu. Suddenly a thick mist appeared around the area and Zabuza laughed ominously and said, I have to say you had a good run, brat. You even convinced me that you're worthy to be called a ninja, but now your life is about to end. Naruto closed his eyes and said, don't be too sure about that. Zabuza laughed, persistent to the end. Hey? I like it. If you weren't on the good side we could have been partners and nothing would be out of your grasp. Bang. Suddenly the bang sound was followed by a loud scream. It seemed Zabuza received a terrible hit. The mist cleared a bit because Kakashi released some chakra and everybody could see that Zabuza had a small hole in his shoulder. Zabuza panted of pain and while he was holding the wound he said, how did you find me? Naruto, although you like to use water techniques you should really consider to take a bath. Oh, and your big mouth also gave you away. Suddenly the atmosphere seemed to change a bit and Zabuza was looking around and said, what are they doing here now? Suddenly a swarm of Hellprides appeared and attacked Naruto and the others. The strange thing was that none of them attacked Zabuza while he was so much closer. In the chaos of the fight someone else appeared. It looked like a hunter ninja, but instead of killing Zabuza, a hunter ninja helped him up and shined away with him. Naruto yelled while he was slashing Hellprides, damn it. You good for nothing coward. Kakashi shouted at Naruto, leave it be Naruto. Protect Tazuna. Suddenly Kakashi saw something strange. Out of nowhere a scythe appeared and Itachi was slashing away at the demons. A few of them formed a group and rushed at Tazuna. Itachi whispered ghostly devastation and ghost shaped like reapers totally destroyed the small group of demons. The battle was short but fierce and soon all the demons were dead. Naruto was swearing about the fact Zabuza escaped. Itachi said we can't do anything about the fact Zabuza escaped Naruto, so just drop it. At least he failed at killing Tazuna. Kakashi turned to the group and said, oh well, let's just go to Tazuna's house so that we can rest. The group started to walk and Kakashi walked with Itachi and said, that's an interesting weapon you used, Itachi. I've never seen you use it before and I couldn't see where you pulled it out from. Itachi, I just got it recently, when I defeated that demon. Naruto called it an devil's arm. Basically it's the essence of the demon forged into a weapon with special powers that only grant its services to the one that owns it. Kakashi, I see, but it still doesn't explain where you store that weapon. Itachi smiled, it's hard to explain. When you receive that weapon it's like it's giving information to you on how to use it. You can summon it at will and it disappears again when you don't need it. Kakashi, I don't get that, Naruto. Every time we ask about this kind of things he's very mysterious about it. Itachi shrugged, I'm sure he has his reasons for that. Maybe he is holding back information that can get us in trouble, or maybe he doesn't trust us completely, yet. That's also a good option if you consider the way Konoha treated him in the past. Kakashi, but he trusts me, I'm sure about that one. Itachi, well, like I said, I'm sure he has his reasons. For example, can you imagine how ninja will react when they hear they can obtain powerful weapons by defeating powerful demons? Kakashi nods, I'm sure the ninja will organize a massive demon hunt in the hope they will obtain such a weapon like yours. Itachi, exactly. and there is a big chance they will be wiped out. Not everyone can defeat those higher-ranked demons. Kakashi sighed. Since Naruto came, things got much more complicated, and then to think about that mysterious Dante character. Itachi nods. He is a mystery indeed. We only heard stories from him, but no one could ever give a good description about him except white/silver hair shaped like a mop, just like Naruto's. Kakashi, well, we know he isn't evil. He fight those demons and he's quite good at it, and so is Naruto. Sometimes I really get the feeling he didn't show us his full strength yet. Itachi smiled. You're quite observant nowadays, Kakashi. Of course he didn't show us the full extent of his power. I would be surprised if he showed us half his strength. Kakashi looked surprised at Itachi. And why do you think that? Itachi shrugged. He takes things too easy when he is fighting. He always show his smirk, and even when we fought against that higher level demon he wasn't really serious. The two stopped the conversation because they finally reached Zabuza's house. The group entered and Tazuna said, "Tsunami, I'm home." A woman around her 30s came down the stairs and sighed relieved and said, "Father, I'm so glad you're back. I thought you would have been killed." Tazuna smiled and said, "I would have been if these fine ninja didn't protect me." Tsunami bowed and said, "Thank you for your kindness." Itachi bowed as well and said, "You're welcome. We didn't have much of a choice. If we left your father, it would stand against all the things we believe in." Someone else came down the stairs. It was a small boy. He had a sad look in his eye, but when he saw the ninja he looked annoyed and went back upstairs. Tsunami smiled. "That was my son Inari. He's a bit quiet since his father and later his friend were killed. But he will loosen up later." Later that evening during dinner, the group of Konoha, Tazuna, Tsunami and Inari were having dinner. Tazuna and Tsunami explained everything that happened in the Land of Waves, about how Gato treated the people of this land and when a hero stood up against him but was murdered in the process, breaking the spirits of almost all inhabitants. Only when they decided to build a bridge hope started to rise again. Kakashi, so Gato will use all his power to prevent that the bridge is being built? Tazuna nodded. Indeed. And he has a lot of power. Power in the terms of hired bandits and assassins. Some people also say he is a practitioner of the dark arts. Kakashi, dark arts? Tazuna, yeah, the usual stuff. Slaying goats, holy sacrifices, chants and all those kinds of mumbo-jumbo. But that's just crazy talk. Naruto smiled. Bandit lord or voodoo master, I don't give a damn. We will just face him, and when he is dead, or if the bridge is being completed, this land will finally know peace and prosper. Inari, who was silent all this time, said, "Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, you will all die when you will face Gato." Tsunami was shocked and reprimanded Inari, and with a smile on her face she said, "I'm sorry for his behavior, he had a hard time." Naruto sighed. That friend of him being killed? Pathetic. Instead of putting his head in his ass he should do something about it. Inari looked mad at Naruto and screamed, "Oh yeah. You can say that, you have an easy life, you don't have to live in fear every single day." Naruto gave Inari an icy glare and slammed his fist on the table. "Oh, you think I haven't? You're a little, whiny, good-for-nothing crybaby. Maybe I should give you a good spanking. You think about all those bad things that you miss, the things you still have, so don't give me that idiotic crap about being pathetic." Kakashi looked at Naruto and said, "That's enough, Naruto, that's too much." Naruto snorted and got his coat and mumbled, "I'm going to get some fresh air." And looks from his teammates followed him until he slammed the door shut behind him. Inari left the table as well, only he ran upstairs to his room. Tsunami looked strange and asked, "What was that all about?" Itachi sighed. Let's just say that two different lifestyles collided. Naruto had a more terrible time than Inari but decided to quit crying and do something about it, while Inari keeps on crying and whining about all the bad things that happened while he has a mother and grandfather to fall back to, unlike Naruto. Tsunami, I see, but shouldn't any of you follow him? Kakashi, no. We will just let him blow off some steam, he likes to process these kind of things alone. Somewhere else nearby, Zabuza was laying on bed. He was recovering from the fight he had with Naruto. Next to his bed there was a beautiful woman called Haku. Zabuza took Haku with him when she was little. She became an orphan at young age because her father killed her mother because she had a rare Kekiigenkai, and that was forbidden. Haku became a strong kunoichi under Zabuza's watch, and in return she helps Zabuza with his dream. Also Gato, a well-dressed, fat man with sunglasses on, was standing there, and he was accompanied by a strange man. The strange man was long and slim. He had medium red hair and was covered in black clothes. He looked uninterested at the ninja. Gato was here to laugh at Zabuza. Ha, demon of the hidden mist. Give me a break. You thought you were almighty, but here you are, mangled like a little thug who got spanking from his daddy. Zabuza growled but decided to let it go because he could use Gato's money and said, I wouldn't be in this position if that blonde kid kept out of this. Gato's eyes widened behind the sunglasses and yelled, what? You were taken out by a freaking kid. The man who was with Gato got an interested look on his face, and with his deep voice he asked, blonde kid? Did he had a big sword on his back? Zabuza nodded, that's right, and he was pretty skilled with it too. Gato turned to his companion and asked, you know that stupid kid? The man looked at Gato with a disgusted look in his face. It looked like Gato's face sickened him, and he answered, well, if I'm correct, that stupid kid was the child who was traveling with Dante, the Dark Knight. Gato, what has that to do with us? The man sighed, Dante is a warrior I wouldn't like to face. I'm sure that would be the end of me. Around 3 years ago I heard from a demon that a blonde child was traveling with him, hunting and killing my kind. At that age he was quite capable to measure himself up against even 4 hordes of lower demons, and I don't think his skills became rusty the last 3 years. Gato, I don't give a damn about what he can do, I have enough money to hire enough bandits to take out most opponents. Zabuza interrupted, no. This is my contract and I will take care of him. It won't be long before I can move again, and then I will kill everyone, including the bridge builder. Gato nodded, and together with the man who was with him he left. He whispered to the man, do you think you can defeat that kid? I think Zabuza is overestimating himself, a bad ninja trait. The man smirked, well, I heard that the child is quite capable, but he still remains human, so I think I'll play with him when the time comes. Both men had evil thoughts they kept to themselves. With Naruto. Naruto was walking in the nearby forest. He was thinking about what Inari said and his own past. He thought, darn that kid, saying that he has it tough. At least he still have his mother. The Kyuubi said, but you also have your mother Naruto. Naruto, but Q, only since recently. In the past I had almost no one. No friends, no family, no one to talk to and ask why I was being hated. The Kyuubi sighed, but Naruto, he's just a kid. There is no way he could know the suffering you had to endure. Naruto TSK. He should think about what he has, not what he has lost. And if he doesn't intend to protect that, he's worth nothing. Kyuubi remained silent. She knew it was no use to talk to Naruto when he was like this. Naruto suddenly stopped walking. He thought he saw something white in the forest and he focused. He saw a woman dressed in white. There was something strange about that woman, it was like she was emitting white light. She had red hair and smiled kindly to him. She turned around and made a gesture to Naruto to follow her. Naruto decided to take his chances and followed the woman into the dark woods. Naruto was following the strange woman. The woman didn't stop for 1 second. She didn't stop, she didn't speak, and she didn't look back. It was like it was normal that Naruto followed her. They came to a clearing and the woman turned around. Naruto was looking at a gentle face. Suddenly a ruined old building appeared behind her. She turned around and entered the ruins. Naruto shrugged and followed her into the dark, creepy old building. The moment Naruto stepped into the ruins, a heavy stone door fell down and entrapped him. There was only one way Naruto could go, straight forward. The next room was very dark, he could barely see his own hand before his eyes. From 1 minute to the next, candles lit. He saw the woman he was following clearly now. She had her red/orange colored hair tied in a ponytail and she wore a beautiful white dress with golden graphics in it. The thing that caught his attention the most was the beautiful necklace she wore. For the rest, she was just wearing black boots. She looked at Naruto and then she faded. Naruto walked closer to the point she was standing. He saw a big piece of stone with seals around them. In each of those seals there was a word. One said justice, the other said love, the other said intelligence, and the last one said friendship. Naruto stretched out his arm and touched the seal that said justice. Suddenly he heard a child screaming. He looked to the way it came from and saw a small child running while he was holding bread. The child was followed by a big adult who was holding a big knife and he was screaming, "Come here, thief, so that I can cut your arm off." Naruto was surprised when that child took cover behind him. The big adult stopped in front of him and said, "Hey boy, turn over the child. He's a thief and the law says that thief's right arm is cut off." The child let out a little scream and said, "But mommy and daddy are hungry, you refuse to give them bread because they are different than other people." The adult snorted and said, "It serves them right, they don't belong here." And the big man turned back to Naruto, "So kid, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna turn him over or not?" Naruto seemed to think and said, "And what if I pay for the bread he stole?" The adult said, "For the likes of him I don't accept money." Naruto smirked and said, "I won't turn over the child." The adult looked surprised and said, "Fine. Then I will get the guards," and the big man turned around and walked away with big angry steps. The child smiled to Naruto and said thanks and ran away. Naruto could clearly see that the seal justice was removed. He walked back and touched the seal love. Naruto saw flames erupting from the walls and slowly but surely a sentence formed, and Naruto read it out loud. "Love makes people fly without wings and make the impossible possible, but love is not without risk. What is the price you must pay if love goes the wrong way?" And 3 pedestals with words on it appeared. The first pedestal said pain and suffering, the second said hatred and humanity, and the third said sacrifice and sorrow. Naruto looked at the 3 pedestals for a long time. In his view, either one could be the correct one but also the wrong one. He decided to take a chance by his reasoning. If love goes the wrong way, and the opposite of love was hate, he chose the option hatred and humanity. The sentence changed with love you risk the chance of hatred and hatred eats away one's humanity. Proceed. Naruto turned around and saw that the seal of love was gone. He noticed that the word disappeared and only one letter remained. With love only the O remained and with justice only the E remained. Naruto shrugged and chose the next one, that was intelligence. The flames appeared again and soon another sentence was on the wall. Naruto read this one out loud as well. "Many empires were built with my help. I can be used for war and peace at the same time. I can be cheap and expensive. With my help you can protect the ones you hold dear. What am I?" And yet the 3 pedestals appeared. The first one was sword, the second one was mankind, and the third one was stone. Naruto looked at the sentence and the pedestals and quickly discarded mankind. He reduced his chances to 50-50. Both things, sword and stone, have been important to mankind. He seemed to think, and then suddenly he felt the weight of Yamato. Naruto saw this as a sign and touched the pedestal sword. The riddle changed and another sentence appeared. Wars are won with the sword and expand empires. Swords are used to bring war or preserve peace. Steel is cheap while a made sword is expensive. The main reason swords were created is to protect the ones you hold dear. Proceed. Naruto turned around and saw the word intelligence fading and only the letter N remained. Naruto walked over to the last seal and touched it. He turned over to the wall and expected he would have to answer another riddle. He saw something in the corner of his eye. It was 10-10, but he also saw she wasn't alone. A big demon was behind her. She ran over to Naruto, but he saw in a quick glance she wasn't gonna make it. He trusted on his instincts and threw himself forward. The demon thrusted his big sword forward, but Naruto was just in time to save 10-10. Instead of stabbing and killing 10-10, the demon stabbed Naruto. 10-10 turned around and screamed Naruto, only it sounded like an echo because she was fading. And she wasn't the only one that was fading, but the demon as well. Naruto looked down and saw that the wound the demon inflicted was gone. He turned around and saw flames that spelled the letters that were on the previous seals. He saw the letter EONR. Naruto looked and scrambled the letters and said Nero. The letters made out of fire turned to the good direction and spelled Nero, and the big stone structure exploded. He saw a man that looked a little bit like Dante, but his attire was different. He was wearing a long blue-purple coat, a red zip-up vest with a hoodie, and underneath that he was wearing a navy muscle shirt. Behind him there was a blue ethereal form of a demon that looked down on Naruto, and the person started to speak. I am Nero. I lived a long time ago, and a long time ago it was when I died. You who have found this place and completed the trials is worthy of my help. Now my soul can finally rest in peace and I can join my beloved Kairi. May my power help you on your path. And then Nero transformed into a small ball and it rushed at Naruto. Naruto's body absorbed the small ball and he could feel that information was running through his head. He looked at his right arm and it suddenly transformed into a red scale armor-like arm with strange blue patterns running through it. Naruto gave an impulse to his arm and his arm changed back to normal. Naruto smiled and softly said, Devil Bringer, hey, I can use this. If I ever cross roads with Dante, I'll ask about this little development. He left the chamber, and when he reached the hall he wasn't surprised that the door made of stone was gone. He left the ruins, and when he came out there was a bright light and the ruins were completely gone. Naruto walked back to Tazuna's house and he saw Kakashi standing in front of it. He was leaning against the wooden wall with his arms crossed and said, You took your time with your little walk. Naruto shrugged and said, It's a good night to take a walk. Kakashi, everyone is already sleeping, you should turn in as well. Tomorrow we will train. I suspect we will hear more from Zabuza and Gato. Naruto, what kind of training? Kakashi, you'll see. Naruto shrugged, walked past Kakashi and went upstairs to the room that was preserved for the men. He undressed himself and went to sleep. In Naruto's mind, Naruto walked into the big main room and he saw that Kyuubi was sleeping on the couch. He frowned and growled, Is sleeping the only thing you do? Kyuubi slowly opened her eyes and said, No, remember that I taught you about chakra and different kind of jutsus? And on top of that, how can I stay awake if you are gone all the time? Naruto, then create something to amuse yourself for the time being. If this goes on you will go even lazier than you are now. Kyuubi whined, Shut up. At least I am being myself instead of pretending that I am a normal person. Naruto sighed, Here we go again. I can't walk into Konoha and say, Hey villagers, you were right all along, I am a demon. No, actually I am worse, I'm a devil, let the hunt begin. The Kyuubi chuckled and said, I can imagine the chaos that will bring. I can already see the people running away in fear while a few pathetic dumbasses attack you without any chance of winning. But that's not what I meant, you're letting the others believe that you are weaker than you actually are. Naruto shrugged, I don't think any of the Jonin would like that a mere genin is stronger than they are, although I would love to annihilate that Sasuke. He gets on my nerves. Kyuubi, I don't like him either, there is something seriously wrong with him. I like his brother Itachi, but that Sasuke reminds me of someone else. Naruto, someone else? The Kyuubi nodded. Long ago there was one Uchiha who was very evil. His name was Madara Uchiha. Naruto, Madara Uchiha? That was the leader of the Uchihas and the rival of the first Hokage, right? The Kyuubi nodded. Yes, he was a gifted ninja, whose skill with the Sharingan was extraordinary. Naruto, how did he die? The Kyuubi frowned like there was something she tried to remember and she said, I can't quite remember, everything from that time is a little vague and every time I want to remember it it's like I hit a barrier. Naruto nodded, but why was he different than the other Uchihas? The Kyuubi, Madara Uchiha was the first one that unlocked the Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto, Mangekyo Sharingan? The Kyuubi nodded. Indeed. You can say it's the next level of the normal fully fledged Sharingan. It has a lot of power although no one can really tell what it can do. Naruto, I see. Oh, by the way, Kakashi is going to train me and the other tomorrow. The Kyuubi said, Oh really? Don't expect too much from it, it will mostly be genin things. Naruto responded, if that's the case I will train by myself. QB, that's for the best. I mean, you know a lot of jutsus, although you never used it around your teammates, and on top of that you can use that style you've developed, and I don't mean that perverted jutsu you used against Dante and Trish a while back. Naruto snickered, I remember. Flashback. Dante was training Naruto and Trish helped along. Sometimes it happened that Trish came by and helped Dante with several things. Dante and Trish were working together to beat Naruto. In the first few training sessions Naruto was totally annihilated, but at this point he could last longer, although he had a hard time. Trish attacked and Naruto pushed her back, but Dante saw his chance and flanked Naruto. Naruto molded his chakra and yelled, "Sexy jutsu." A puff of smoke appeared, and when it cleared Dante saw a beautiful young, naked, blonde-haired lady with the most beautiful blue eyes he had ever seen. The young blonde woman pouted and said, "Oh please Dante, you don't hit a lady like me, do you?" Dante was stunned and unable to make a snappy comeback, let alone attack the transformed Naruto. However, Naruto didn't have so much luck with Trish, who was enraged with the perverted diversion of Naruto and kicked him between his legs. Naruto transformed back and was lying in a fetal position while Trish scolded, "You perverted little scumbag. I told you, Dante, that your influence on a young boy is bad." The two started to argue while they totally forgot about Naruto, who was still lying there while he was worried about his ability to become a parent in the future. End flashback. QB sighed, that was just really wrong, but anyway I meant that style that you use your devil energy to make jutsus. Naruto, oh yeah, devil art. It started as a hobby but it became something serious as time proceeded. The QB nodded, indeed. Some can be classified as S-rank jutsus because normal ninja would need a massive amount of chakra. Naruto shrugged, I've always had a large chakra reserve. Must be because I'm a devil. QB, that or maybe because you're also part of the Uzumaki family. The Uzumakis were always known for their massive chakra reserves and the long lifespans they had. That's why they were mostly chosen to be the vessel of me. Naruto, oh yeah, that's right, well perhaps I have the best of both worlds. QB, perhaps, but don't you think you should rest about now? Who knows what will happen tomorrow, and perhaps you will need your strength. Naruto, good thinking Q, good night and I'll visit you soon. QB, I hope so, it gets lonely in that empty head of yours. Naruto growled and went out of his mindscape and started to dream. The next morning, Naruto got up and saw that Itachi, Sasuke and Kakashi were already out of bed. He got dressed and walked out of the room. To his surprise he saw that he and Ino came out of the room at the same time. Ino waved and said, "Oh, good morning Naruto. How late did you come back? I didn't hear you return." Naruto responded, "Good morning Ino. I don't know the exact time anymore, but Kakashi was awake at that time." Ino, I see. Well, we have some training today, I'm so excited. Naruto shrugged, we'll see. I won't get my hopes up. The two walked downstairs and saw that everyone was waiting for them to eat breakfast. They said good morning to everyone and even Inari responded. Last night Inari had a good conversation with Kakashi and he started to understand that there were more people who were suffering, but unlike him they didn't cry but did everything they could to make their lives bearable. The group started breakfast and after that the ninjas went to the nearby forest to train. They were standing there and Tenten asked senseis, "What are you going to teach us?" Kakashi gave an eye smile and said, "Climbing trees." Everyone looked weird and Ino said, "But I already know how to climb trees when I was little." Kakashi, that may be so, but I didn't say you may use your hands. We are going to teach you to climb trees like this. And he walked towards a tree and walked on it like he was walking on the ground until he reached the first branch. He threw a kunai down and said, "Now it's your turn." Ino said, "But how? How do you do that?" Naruto answered, "It's easy. You use your chakra. You channel your chakra to your feet to a certain amount, which enables you to walk on trees like that or walk on water. The purpose of this exercise is to increase your chakra control, and it can be used in battle as well because you will be able to fight anywhere and jump higher to avoid attacks." Itachi, well said. Do you already know how to do this, Naruto? Naruto nodded yes. I can already walk on trees and on water. Itachi, then show us. Naruto shrugged and jumped really high because he channeled his chakra to his feet and reached the second branch. He was standing on the tree and jumped between several trees to let the others see how well his chakra control was. Kakashi and Itachi were stunned because genin normally don't have this skill in the beginning. Sasuke snorted and said, show off. Kakashi, well, you proved you already mastered this exercise, so I will exclude you from it. You can train on your own while Itachi and I will train the rest in this department. It was fine with Naruto because now he had the chance to practice his new devil bringer. Naruto walked until he found a perfect training spot that was far enough so that the rest of the group couldn't spy on him. He brought forth his devil bringer and started to train with it. The basics were quite simple because the theory on how to use it went through his mind when he first acquired it. He started to practice combos with the devil bringer and his devil arms. He discovered that Yamato and the devil bringer was a good and deadly combo together. After that training, he created around 50 shadow clones and started to spar with them. Naruto had some nice moves with his devil bringer and soon the 50 shadow clones were overwhelmed by its abilities. Naruto decided to take a break and sat down against a tree. He heard someone whistling a song and decided to check it out. He saw a girl around the same age as him with black hair and a kimono. She didn't seem hostile and Naruto left his cover. The girl startled when she heard Naruto approaching but relaxed when she saw he didn't look aggressive. The only thing she thought is that Naruto didn't look so bad. Naruto looked at the girl and said, I never would have thought I would meet a pretty girl like you here. Don't you know this forest isn't the safest place to be? The girl smiled and said, I know, but this is the best place to gather herbs. Naruto, herbs, hey? For cooking, or are you looking for medicinal herbs? The girl, medicinal herbs. Normally I have some in stock in case something happens, but it's running low and because it's such a nice day I decided to pick some today. Naruto, need any help? The girl smiled and said, I'd love some help. My name is Haku, by the way. Naruto, my name is Naruto, nice to meet you, Haku. Haku smiled, but suddenly her face got serious when the atmosphere changed. Naruto noticed as well and quickly reacted when he saw some small demons charge at Haku. Naruto drew Repent off his back and started to swing at the lowlife demons. There were quite a bunch of them and unlike the normal lower demons, these ones were faster. One sneaked in from behind and was able to hit Haku on the back of her head because she was too busy with watching how gracefully Naruto slaughtered many demons. Naruto saw Haku fall and thought to himself, damn it, those bastards are faster this time. Let's see what their speed can do against my new toy. Naruto activated his devil bringer and slammed his ethereal arm on the ground so that the demons close to him were sent into the air. Naruto jumped up and he slaughtered some demons with Repent. While he was in the air, he noticed that one demon was sneaking towards Haku and Naruto used his devil bringer to get the demon and he pulled the demon towards him. Naruto got his gun with his free hand and when the demon reached him, Naruto pulled the trigger in the demon's face. There were 3 demons left and Naruto was shooting at them, but they easily evaded his shots. Naruto kept on shooting and soon the demons were together in one spot. Naruto quickly holstered his guns and laid his hand on Yamato. There was a click sound and with the second click sound the demons fell apart in pieces, or rather slices. Naruto walked over to Haku and he saw she was still unconscious. He picked her up and walked to the nearest stream. He got a bit of cloth and drenched it in the cold water and he laid it on Haku's face. She immediately sat up when she awakened but relaxed when she only saw Naruto. Haku said, I didn't suspect those creatures would appear in this forest during the day. Naruto, they have a habit to show up when people least expect it. Haku, did you kill them all? Naruto nodded, I sure did, they weren't strong. Haku, or perhaps you're stronger than you think. Naruto shrugged, I will see how strong I am when the time comes. The only true way to test my strength is when I protect someone that is dear to me. Haku wanted to say something but she suddenly startled and cried out, oh, I almost forgot that I would be back in time. If I don't my father would be extremely mad. Maybe I'll see you again someday, Naruto. And she rushed off. Naruto looked after her and thought, strange girl. Only I suspect she wanted to say Zabuza instead of father. Oh well, only time will tell. In the meantime, I will see how the rest is doing. When Naruto returned, he saw that Ino already came a great way with training. Naruto smiled. Girls are more precise when it comes to chakra, so it isn't strange that she is learning it faster than Sasuke, and Tenten relies more on her weapons than on her chakra, so she will also have trouble with it. Sasuke looked like someone just took his favorite food away from him. He was grinding his teeth and was staring infuriated at the tree he wanted to climb. Tenten kept on trying, but every time she used her too much chakra or not enough. She just needed to find her balance. Naruto let out a barely noticeable whistle, but Kakashi and Itachi heard it. Naruto made a gesture that he wanted to speak to either one of them. Itachi walked towards him while Kakashi was still looking at the genin who were trying to reach the top of the tree. Itachi was standing near Naruto and asked, "What is it?" "Naruto, I just wanted to say to keep your guard up. In the forest I met a nice girl and in the middle of a conversation we were attacked by demons." Itachi's eyes widened a bit and said, "In broad daylight?" "Naruto, it wouldn't be the first time. Demons only prefer the night because they can sneak closer to their prey, but it isn't strange that they attack in broad daylight when they are targeting someone, and I suspect they were targeting the girl." "Itachi, do you know why?" Naruto shook his head. "I have a few theories, but I can't get the entire picture straight." Itachi, thanks for the warning, and anyway we are done here for today, the rest of the training will continue tomorrow. Naruto, that would be for the best. It will be dark soon, and I'm getting hungry. Itachi, you're always hungry. I'll gather up the rest and we will return to Tazuna's house. Itachi walked back and whispered something to Kakashi. Naruto suspected it was about his warning. The two jonin called back the rest and they walked back to Tazuna's house. Naruto was walking in the middle of Ino and Tenten, and the latter said, "Phew, the tree climbing exercise is brutal. I don't know how you two were able to pull that off." "Ino, I'm not really sure, it simply happened when I tried it." "Naruto, it's all about getting the feeling right. If you use too much chakra you will damage the tree and fall down, but if you don't use enough you won't stick to the object you are climbing and fall down. It's simply about using enough chakra." Tenten, I see. It's just the same as seasoning food. If you use too much salt your dish would taste awful, but if you use too little your dish won't have any flavor. Naruto grinned. "Exactly, although I didn't know you knew how to cook." Tenten glared at Naruto. "What's that supposed to mean?" Naruto pulled up his shoulders. "Oh, simple, you don't seem like the cooking type." Tenten turned around her head while she mumbled something like, "Stup, son, you bit." The group arrived at Tazuna's house just in time for dinner. After dinner, Naruto went outside. He was sitting in the grass before the house and looked at the stars. It didn't take long for Kakashi to accompany him. "Kakashi, the stars shine brightly tonight." "Naruto, yeah." "Kakashi, I heard you were attacked by some demons while you were interacting with a girl." "Naruto, yes, I already told Itachi everything." "Kakashi, I wanted to ask about the girl, do you know anything about her, why the demons targeted her?" "Naruto, I told Itachi I have a few theories. One of those theories is that Gato was trying to eliminate Zabuza and that girl with the help of the demon he summoned." Suddenly a deep voice that both Naruto and Kakashi recognized as Zabuza's voice spoke. "You're right about that one." Kakashi immediately stood up and drew his kunai while he spoke. "Show yourself, Zabuza." "Naruto, Kakashi, stop. Zabuza is a master in the silent killing technique and just now he had the perfect opportunity, so that means he came here for a reason." "Zabuza, so the kid has more brains than his sensei," and Zabuza left his cover from a nearby tree. "Kakashi, why are you here?" "Zabuza, I'm here to make an arrangement. Me and Haku are found out that Gato wants us gone, probably after we fought you on the bridge 2 days from now." "Kakashi, and how do we know that this isn't a way to get rid of use after we defeated the demon?" Before Zabuza could answer, Naruto did. "That's easy, he wants to protect Haku." Zabuza's eyes widened a bit. "How did you know?" Naruto, that's easy. You know that Gato is trying to get rid of you and Haku because you two know too much. That means that if you simply leave, you two will be followed by Gato's men and the demon for the rest of your lives. The fact that you want to fight a higher demon is simply because you don't wish that for Haku. Zabuza, am I so easy to figure out? I must be getting soft or something. Naruto, nope, it's just logic. You are running from the hunter ninja of your own village, so if it was just you, you could simply move away and take the hunt on you for granted, but Haku isn't a missing nin, so that means that she is the only reason you were making your stand here. Zabuza, you're right. In the start I only saw her as a powerful tool to fulfill my dream, but over time I got attached to her. Naruto, so, let's hear your proposal before we agree to anything. Zabuza, in 2 days we are supposed to attack you. We will, but unlike real battles we simply put up a show, and when all of you are dead I'm sure Gato will show up together with his demon to get rid of me and Haku. In that moment you guys jump up and we will fight the demon together. When he is dead I want that you guys bring Haku to Konoha while I simply disappear. Kakashi, not a bad plan, especially since we don't know anything about that demon. Naruto, don't worry about the demon. I just wanted to know what Zabuza's motives are, and now I know. I say that we should go for it. Kakashi, I'm not sure, we will have to discuss it with the others. We need everyone's cooperation if we want this plan to succeed. Zabuza, I will hear your answer tomorrow night at this exact location. Now I must return before Gato's spies suspect anything. Zabuza made some hand signs and bunshined away, leaving Naruto and Kakashi behind. Kakashi turned to Naruto and asked, "You think we can trust him?" Naruto, I think we can. He was only our enemy because he was working for Gato, but now he knows that his employer wants him out of the picture, but he isn't sure he can fight off Gato's demon, so he tries to get as much allies as he can, in this case us. Kakashi, I think you are right. Let's go back inside and discuss it with Itachi first before we let the others know what happened here. Naruto, that's for the best. Until this point he was our enemy, and bluntly saying that we spoke with him just now isn't the best way to handle things. I mean, sure, Tenten and Ino can understand, but Sasuke has such an urge to prove himself that he will do something stupid before we are done with our story. Kakashi, you really hate him, don't you? Naruto, no. I don't hate him. I dislike him because he sees himself as the center of the universe and doesn't matter what happens to the people around him as long as he gets what he wants. Kakashi, at first he was a happy boy until that night the Uchiha clan was massacred. From that day he turned into the Sasuke we know today, and he really wants to avenge his clan. Naruto, he should grow up. At least he still has his brother and almost every girl in Konoha. Does Sasuke-sensei keep a good eye on him? Kakashi, I think so. Why? Naruto, oh, simply something I learned from Dante. Sasuke wants his revenge above everything, and revenge is a bad advisor. The path of an avenger is bad for a person and the people who care about him. The fate of an avenger is always the same. The first option is that he dies trying, option 2 is that he becomes an empty shell with no desires at all, and option 3 is that he takes the place of the one he took his revenge on. Kakashi looked down. Although he didn't feel anything for Sasuke, he had grown attached to Itachi, and if Sasuke development goes on like this, it could be that Sasuke would turn out like Naruto just said. They went inside and in a subtle manner they separated Itachi from the rest of the group. They explained about their secret meeting with Zabuza. Itachi said, "So it seems we and Zabuza have an enemy in common." Kakashi nodded. Indeed. I have no reason to believe he was lying. If he had any intention to kill us, he would have attacked us when we were outside. Naruto, the only 2 things I am worried about is if he keeps his word about disappearing after this thing is over with, and if Haku is willing to go with us. From what I could make out, she is very loyal to Zabuza. Itachi, that's true, but we can only find that out if we agree with Zabuza's proposal. I think the best action is that we join forces, because we don't know our enemy's strength nor numbers, because we have no guarantee that the demon is our only opponent. According to the information I gathered, Gato also have a lot of hired muscle. Naruto, but those are simple thugs and no match for us. Even an old woman with a broomstick could chase them away. But I agree with you that we should accept Zabuza's help. Kakashi, all right then. I will explain this to the rest and we will meet Zabuza tomorrow. The three went back to the room and explained the current situation to the rest. Everyone understood the situation they were in and they were grateful that they didn't have to fight two strong ninja before they fought a demon of unknown strength. 2 days later on the bridge. The Konoha ninja were on the bridge together with Tazuna and his employers. The ninja acted casual and were helping the employers. It became noon and the employers went away to have lunch in the town. The minute they left, the area was covered in a thick mist. Everyone got in a defensive position and Kakashi said, "Watch out, this is an attack. Tenten, Ino, protect Tazuna. Sasuke and Naruto stay put and follow our lead." Tenten and Ino ran to Tazuna. Two dark shadows appeared from the thick mist. One was clearly Zabuza and the other was Haku, with her tracker mask on while her hair was tied in a bun. Zabuza looked at Kakashi and Itachi and said, "So I'm facing the two Sharingan warriors once again. Let's find out how well your Sharingan works when the mist is this thick." Itachi ignored Zabuza's remark and said, "Naruto, Sasuke, you two take the one with the mask while I and Kakashi will fight Zabuza." The two complied with a simple yes and Itachi and Kakashi shortened the distance between Zabuza and them so that they could see him with their Sharingan. Haku made a quick hand sign with one hand and water came from the ground and transformed into needles made of ice that she launched at Naruto and Sasuke, who easily dodged it. Haku rushed forward to hit Sasuke but he blocked and gave Haku a ferocious kick that pushed her back. A little bit further, Kakashi and Itachi were fighting Zabuza at impressive speed. But Zabuza was very skilled and parried or dodged every attack. In the middle of the fight, Zabuza made a wide sweep with his big sword and slashed Kakashi in the chest. Kakashi fell down while blood was gushing out of chest. Itachi let out a yell of anger and doubled his attempt to take out Zabuza. Zabuza used Itachi's anger to his advantage and countered his attack and decapitated Itachi, leaving a headless corpse behind. The fight between Naruto, Sasuke, and Haku was even. The two young ninjas seemed to have trouble hitting Zabuza's partner in crime. Haku dodged a kick of Sasuke and threw a sunban, hitting Sasuke in a vital point and Sasuke fell down. Zabuza sneaked behind Naruto and stabbed him in the back. Shortly after that he went after the two girls who were taken by surprise, leaving Tazuna defenseless and soon Tazuna was dead as well. Zabuza dispelled his jutsu and after the mist cleared he heard someone clapping. He turned around and saw that it was Gato, accompanied by his demon of course. Gato smirked and said, "Well done. I would never have suspected you would be able to pull it off. But now it's time I get you off the payroll, my useful puppet." "Zabuza, so you want to get rid of us?" Gato laughed out loud and said, "Yes. That was my plan all along and you didn't have the brain to see through my plan." Zabuza smirked and said, "Who said I didn't?" Gato looked surprised when the dead bridge builder and Konoha ninja dissipated in a puff of smoke and appeared out of nowhere. Gato looked scared and while he was trembling he said, "H how?" Zabuza smirked, "Shadow clones and genjutsu." "Gato, so you made a deal with the enemy. I have to give you credit, demon of the hidden mist, you have more brains than I thought. But that doesn't mean you have one, you guys are no match against Redo." The demon stepped forward and he made a gesture with his arm. A portal appeared and a lot of demons came out of it. Naruto sighed and said, "Not this crap again. Why don't they ever learn that quality is worth a lot more than quantity?" Suddenly Naruto heard a voice behind him, "Then we will learn that to him the hard way, don't we, squirt?" Naruto startled a bit and turned around and saw Dante, who was resting Rebellion on his shoulder. Kakashi looked at Dante and asked, "Naruto, you know this guy?" Naruto nodded, "Yep. Kakashi meet Dante." "Kakashi, that's Dante? At least he has better timing than me." Dante stepped forward, "Let's save the introductions for later. Squirt, where are you waiting for? Go get that demon. I and your comrades are more than enough for that little ugly army." Naruto nodded and Dante said, "Let's rock, people," and he rushed forward, quickly followed by the rest. The group made a path so that Naruto could rush to Redo. The two were standing in front of each other while the rest were fighting the demons. The two were taxing each other. Eventually Redo spoke. Dante sends a human to fight me, this really is an insult. Soon your blood is on his hands. Naruto, don't count on it, redhead. Are we gonna fight already, or are you gonna give the usual superiority speech like all demons do? Redo grinded his teeth, summoned his sword, a black and purple colored katana, and rushed at Naruto. With the group. While the group was rushing towards the small demon army, Itachi summoned his devil Armabis and sends a few Reaper-like ghosts to the horde. Zabuza was swinging his big sword to thin out the horde, while Haku used her Kekii Genkai to impale the demons with ice needles. The rest simply used kunai and various jutsus. One demon was pretty close to Ino, and it seemed that it will impale her with its scythe, but against all odds it was Zabuza who saved her. He aimed the big hole in his sword to the demon's head and pulled it towards him, gave it a kick and quickly raised his sword to cut the demon in half. Zabuza said, "Step up your game, girl, I can't save you all the time." Sasuke fought a little bit away from the group and was hit a few times because he couldn't keep up with so many demons. He felt helpless and only desired to survive this fight, and suddenly he could feel that new power was running through his veins. He could suddenly see how to react in time, and deep inside he knew he finally unlocked his Sharingan in the heat of battle. From all the people who were fighting, it was Dante who took out the most demons. He used a variety of moves and often switched between rebellion and his guns. Although the group already took out a lot of demons, there was still plenty enough to kill. This fight wouldn't be over soon. With Naruto. Naruto and Redo were fighting. There wasn't a single move that was futile, but every move was parried, dodged, or countered. Redo jumped back and thought, this one is strange. He is able to keep up with me and he isn't giving any sign of slowing down. His fighting style is close to perfect and he has stamina to match. This is getting us nowhere. Redo said, I have to say that you're not bad for a human, but you're still no match for me. And Redo started to grow. Some of his bones were starting to grow out of his body, and with a loud scream a bright light blinded Naruto. When Naruto was able to open his eyes, he saw Redo in his true form. His intense red eyes were glaring at him and black spikes came out of his shoulders. His skin was red and his hands looked like ferocious claws. He rushed at Naruto, who didn't suspect that Redo's speed would increase this much, and he was hit by an unrelenting kick that sent him flying. Naruto recovered in mid-air, but he discovered that Redo was already behind him. Naruto was barely able to dodge his sword attack. Naruto jumped back and thought, this bastard has become pretty fast. I'll show him two can play that game. Q, are you ready? The Kyuubi replied in his mind, I was born ready. Red chakra appeared around Naruto's hands, and on his hands some red triple-bladed claws appeared, and Naruto went on all fours. Redo looked strange at this development, but he didn't think thoroughly about it and rushed at Naruto again. He punched but hit nothing but air. Instead, he was hit by Naruto's knee. Naruto's speed and agility increased dramatically and placed hit after hit. Redo was in a lot of pain and became mad at his helpless condition. Naruto noticed that he was slowing down and the Kyuubi devil arm disappeared because he didn't need it anymore. In Redo's anger, he did something that Naruto didn't expect. Redo opened his mouth and a spear of black energy came out of it. Naruto was able to dodge the spear, but he realized too late that the spear was rushing at Haku. Haku turned her head when she saw that the black spear was heading towards her. She closed her eyes, waiting for the inevitable pain that would mean her end, but it didn't come. She slowly opened her eyes and saw Zabuza standing in front of her. In an effort to save Haku, Zabuza intercepted the attack with his own body. He fell down and Haku kneeled down next to him and turned him on his back. She saw a big hole just above his stomach. Zabuza forcefully turned his head towards Haku and said, H. Haku. Haku interrupted Zabuza and said, Don't talk, Zabuza, perhaps we can still save you. Zabuza smiled and no, this is the end for me, I feel it burning. Haku, why did you do it? Zabuza, we know each other for a long time now. You became a fine young woman and a great ninja. During that time, I started to see you like the daughter I never had. Zabuza stopped when he started to cough up some blood, but then he continued, Haku, go with the Konoha ninja. Without me you are able to build up the future you deserve. A small tear came down from Haku's face, and with a crying voice she said, "But I want to stay with you." Zabuza's body trembled a bit. "This is the end for me, just go with that Naruto you like so much. I will be watching over you, always." And with that last word, the last bit of life left Zabuza's body. Haku's body trembled with the loss of her friend, mentor, and father figure. She rose up her head and saw the demons. She let out a loud scream, and big pillars of ice came from the river under the bridge that impaled the demons and caused that her allies were forced to distance themselves from the battlefield. Naruto and Ridu were just out of the range of Haku's attack. Naruto and Ridu saw the entire scene that Zabuza died. Naruto looked mad at Ridu, and with a dark voice he said, "You will pay for that." Ridu laughed, "And what do you want to do about it, pathetic human?" Naruto took repent off his back and rushed at Ridu. Ridu rose up his sword and blocked Naruto's attack. The two were struggling for dominance, and it looked like Ridu was winning. Naruto suddenly activated his devil trigger, and Ridu got a terrified look on his face. Naruto's hair was longer until they were at shoulder length, his skin was orange. His clothes seemed to melt into his body like some kind of armor, and his eyes became black with orange pupils. Naruto pushed Ridu back and followed up with a kick that sent Ridu into the air. Naruto jumped up with his sword raised. He was higher than Ridu, and he came down sword first. It looked like Repent was covered in white flames, and Naruto cried out with his dark demonic voice, "Take this, Divine Impaler!" Ridu screamed as the sword went right through him, and he felt like he was burning from within. He came down with a hard bang while Naruto landed on his feet. Ridu was lying there, and he looked up at Naruto. With a smile he said, "I never thought you were a devil, should have known, because I know that you were traveling with Dante, but know this, I will be avenged."